but I think we're back.
And currently getting the crap kicked out of me.
We have lost objective Freddy.
Alright, can you guys hear me? I think the stream is working now. Got Will here, we're playing some Battlefield 1. We're going to do a podcast later. And we're going to find out if he's better than Derek at this game. Alright, cool, they can hear us. Alright, we're live, finally. We're looking for Nazis. World War I era Nazis.
Nazis. I don't believe there were Nazis in World War I, were there? Pretty sure.
They were in my world.
You should look into that, bro.
Hitler was a Nazi and he was in World War I, so they were Nazis.
Where did huh? I think you may have been playing far too many. Did you get all your history training from video games? Is that?
Only all of it, yeah. No, Hitler was a soldier in World War I, from what I heard.
I have to go back and look into that. You may very well be right.
Yeah, it's because I don't know, I read some story somewhere
about
the that his mustache being the way it was. Like, a lot of people thought that it was because of Chaplin, but it was actually because of the gas mask or something in World War I. Like, he got exposed to some mustard gas, which could explain a lot, maybe. I don't know. All right, that guy's dead.
Yeah, I got one or two of them. Oh, the dude that killed me is dead too. So hey, you know, it's what I do.
Yeah.
Nothing better than seeing the dead red outline. Like, yeah, you got me, but now you're dead too.
Yeah, it's worse. I hate it when you see them like they're going on and killing other people. You know, it's like, sorry.
Sorry about that, guys. Kind of left you.
Yeah. Yeah, people will trash this game, but I love it. I think it's great.
Well, I've got some friends that play it all the time. Like, I'll see them on freaking, PSN.
Yeah.
How do I get all the way down? Can I get all the way down?
Yeah, you can. You hold it down. Hold down circle. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah. That's the position I end up being in most of the time during this game.
Prone's way to go, dude. Like,
you know, obviously video games are not realistic to real world, but I do feel like there's probably a few little things like that may possibly translate. Like, get killed less the closer you are to the ground.
God dang it, maybe not.
So does this bring you back to your days in the Marines in Iraq?
A lot less urban where I was, to be honest with you. Like,
yeah. Uniforms a little different?
A little bit, yeah.
Not so many capes.
I wish we'd had capes. That would have been awesome. Can't get to there.
That's what we need in the military, bulletproof capes.
More capes, Kevlar capes.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
God.
God said there he is, like that was someone we knew personally.
We have taken objective Charlie.
I got freaking aced by a guy with a pistol.
He had a machine gun. Oh, back to life. Oh, there he is. I think he's still there.
God.
Got him. Nope.
Somebody got him.
Yeah. Oh, look at that guy. He just got shot and he just sort of went, like, meh, it's nothing. You can also spawn in that train right there. It's got a bunch of weapons in it. The graphics really blow me away in this game.
Yeah, they've done some good work with the graphics.
Yeah.
I don't know which engine they're using. They probably got their own, but.
Because I always get the PC people come on here and give me a hard time for using a PlayStation, but I don't know. I don't have the energy to mess with the PC. One thing they did in this game, so like with the machine gun, if you're just like in real life, if you're laying down, it'll you can hold them steadier. God. People are ridiculously good at this game.
Yeah, no, that's kind of.
It's just stupid how good they are. I mean, you'll get sniped. You'll be like running, and someone will snipe you from the other side of the map. It's like, how did that happen?
I hate snipers, though, man. Camping little
Yep.
You got some s'mores in that sniper roost? Got a little sleeping bag up there, bro? Can I get some of them graham crackers and that Hershey bar?
They're at least better than the people that camp around a corner, though. That I really can't stand.
Literally.
Yep. Am I on Xbox or PS4? I'm on the PlayStation 4.
We have taken objective.
What time is it in the USA? It's like...
Depends how much part.
Yeah.
Here it's like 5 o'clock.
USA time is 5:13. There we go.
We have lost
Yeah, it depends on the time zone you're in. Oh, I just realized they can't see us.
Whoa, I can see us now.
There we go. I don't know why I forgot to do that. Okay, there we are. Here's Will, and here's
Hey,
me.
check us out.
Yep.
We have taken objective Freddy. We have taken objective Charlie.
That's one of my guys.
Will looks like he's on vacation, and he's taking it very seriously. We both look like we're on vacation. I'm wearing like a South Carolina hat. You got the Hawaiian shirt.
I'm a leaf on the wind, man.
We have taken objective Butter.
Thank you.
He's done.
My job as bait is complete here.
Yeah. You can try some other guns too. You can also do. There's a shotgun that's pretty much a one-shot kill if you get
Close enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might change out here in a minute.
I do like that machine gun though. It's handy. And if you hit the like the right and the left buttons on the what do you call it, the pad, it'll that's how you access your other weapons.
God. Hello, grenade.
And L1 throws the grenade, I believe.
Really? A 1911?
Yep.
Give me a break.
Well, I mean, it is a 1911.
Yeah.
We are losing objective
One shot
Charlie.
kill always.
Always, yeah, with a 1911. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, especially from 75 yards away. That's
Oh yeah.
We have lost
All you gotta do is hit him in the big toe, pretty much.
wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. The shockwave from the round alone.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to change weapons, but let's see what I can do.
Derek wouldn't appreciate us talking about his 1911.
It's a heck of a gun. I've
Oh,
got
yeah.
one, but I mean, it ain't.
Sure is. But it's just, you know, that's one thing that, like, to Derek's credit, he loves the 1911, and we joke about it all the time. But he definitely understands, like, ballistics and how that kind of stuff works. You know, we talked about that a lot.
Flagged the hell out of my team there.
The 45 is definitely one of the better self-defense rounds in a handgun, but any handgun is going to, oh man, that guy got skewered. But any handgun is going to be, you know, less than desirable in a lot of situations. Over a rifle, at least. Over nothing, great.
Yeah.
Got the little Colt pocket hammerless there. John Dillinger carried one of those, actually. I don't think he killed any Nazis with it, though.
Yeah. We have a lot in common then.
Oh. He just told you you're dead. You're dead. That's what he said. It's funny. There's like recorded dialogue in these games.
And I'm on fire. That's not conducive to.
No.
Could I get a reload? That would be amazing.
Everyone's talking about the time for some reason in the comments section.
We are losing.
Thanks for the update.
Yeah, there you go.
We have lost
Nice.
objective Ed.
See, you just did that to him. See, like that guy that just got killed, he saw you kill the guy that killed him, so he's just like, yeah.
Yes. And it was Moose Nut too. That guy killed me before. So
Did he? There you go. That is always satisfying.
yeah.
Occasionally, though, I'll play a game where there'll be someone that just kills me a ton of times.
Yo, no, that's whoa.
One time I got into a sniper battle with somebody, and he just kept killing me and kept killing me, just to a point where it was almost like funny. I mean, I was really working hard. You know, I would just inch up, you know, behind cover, and I'd get out, and I knew where he was, and I'd try to get a shot up. Before I could get a shot off, he'd take me out. And eventually, I just had to concede, like, this guy's amazing.
Lost objective Freddy. We have taken objective Alpha.
That guy's in some, having some trouble there. One thing I like about the Battlefield games is the destructive environment.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, you know, like you shoot buildings with the tanks or run into them and stuff, you know, and they blow up.
Where is that son of
We have taken objective Apples.
Thank you. There it goes.
There you go. I like the healing thing in this game. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is pretty neat.
Yeah, adds a different element to it. I think what they're going for in Battlefield is just try to make it less like Call of Duty, and that you're just like running around. It's like laser tag, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one reason I like this better. It's more like people are more clumped together, you know.
Yeah.
And you can engage groups of enemies instead of it being more like one-on-one.
Let's see if I can figure out a better.
Try a different gun combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, there's at least one of the shotguns. It's pretty much one-shot kill, and there's also a sub gun that's pretty great in the assault class. Yeah, you guys that are watching right now, we're going to do a podcast a little later, but thought I'd get Will to try out Battlefield 1.
He thought it'd be funny to throw me into PvP and see how many cuss words I can actually string together without punctuation.
Yeah,
so, I've done pretty well so far.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got this game, I was like, I'll just hop into the multiplayer. Just,
No.
Just got slaughtered.
You know who we should bring over and have do this is my fiance.
Oh yeah.
She's a PvP beast, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's been I play a lot of Destiny. Don't judge. But I play a lot of Destiny, and like there were like 2 or 3 like quests or missions or whatever you want to call them that required you to go into PvP, and I'd just be like, "Here, sweetheart, take care of this for me." It's okay because I'm good at PvE, so she'd hand me the PvE stuff and be like, "Here, go run this," and I'm like, "Okay," you know. But yeah, just there were a few things like you had to do PvP to get them, and I was just like, "No, I don't think so." All right, so assault.
If you move over to the left, with the stick.
Oh,
tank. There you go. Hit X. Oh,
I see what you got.
yeah.
Am I an Imperial?
You gotta hit X and you'll get the tank.
Am I an Imperial? So if I hit X, I'll go into the tank right now, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm not ready to go yet. Like I don't. Should I?
I mean, you don't get to do a tank very often. It's kind of rare.
All right.
Go for it, man. It's fun. And then push down on the like R3, like pushing it on the stick. Yeah, that's the angle I like, but you can do both.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But whenever you see those, you actually get to drive it versus like right inside of it.
Gotcha. Which means I'm probably gonna die pretty quickly. Do I have an actual like weapon on this thing? Or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a driver?
Like that sight right there.
Okay.
You've got basically a tank shell, or you have this kind of shotgun thing. If you hit triangle, it rotates back and forth between them.
You know, there's no mini map on this with like the rest of my squad. Like I'd like to know where the rest of my squad is.
Yeah, it doesn't really show you on the.
It's kind of hard to group up and like do things.
Yeah, well, they're in the tank with you. You got 2 of them.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about like.
Oh, you also, if you hit, let's see, L1, I believe it is, you can select like one of the missions to go after, and then everyone in your squad knows to go for like A or B or whatever.
So much for that beautiful palace.
Yeah. This is pretty fun. I like the tanks because then it's like you got people in there that are shooting for you and stuff. There's another tank over there.
Yeah. I can't figure out how to get to it.
Yep, there it is. You can also run them over, of course.
That's it.
Oh, still got a few people though.
Yeah.
One of the things people complain about in this game is that the tanks are too fast. They're not realistic, but I don't know. I mean, I think there's a few liberties you got to take. You know?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with assault this time. See how I do.
The gun's kind of interesting. It's one of the early German submachine guns. MP-18. It's got that weird drum magazine.
Right on the side there.
Yeah. Sort of reminds me of the Sten a little bit. It's like kind of almost like a cross between the Sten and the Papa Shaw, the PPSH.
Somebody got him a tank.
Yep. Just like watch your dead body.
Just lay there forever. Think about what you've done.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really not upset when we lose positions because I'm like, I'm Germany right now.
Yeah, that's true. The bad guys.
I can't tell if that's...
Yeah, that's the enemy. If it doesn't have blue over them, you know it's the enemy. The blue or green, those are the good guys.
So what's grenade throw?
R1. Oh.
Your ability to jump in this game is sorely limited.
Yeah.
Is there a dive?
Just if you hold down the circle, like you're gonna lay down.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Of course, there's a medic right there. No, okay, he's gonna. Yep.
Oh.
Sometimes they'll bring you back, like right in the
line of fire.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Thanks. That was helpful.
Guy looks like Jason over there in the corner.
Yeah, no kidding.
Jason with a machine
I love
gun.
how he threw me, like he threw a weapon and I just popped out, like he just kicked me out of the...
Yeah.
All right, so... Yeah, I'll see you, bro. Have a good night.
Yeah.
I found a horse. I'm out of here.
Deserter.
Yeah. I don't blame me. If I could find a horse, I'd be out here too. I mean, what are you gonna do? Is there any way?
Yeah, there's like a lever somewhere. Sometimes you just can't open it. I think it's, yeah, you gotta open from the inside.
Really?
Nope.
Nope. The portcullis on my damn head. Whoa!
You pull your knife out.
Yeah. Because that's going to help against the tank.
Never bring a knife to a tank battle.
Yeah. Got to get pinned down out of here.
Losing objective Charlie.
Oh, horse. Oh.
See, it's okay. I've never played this game, so I mean,
Yeah.
I know like an idiot, and everyone out there is probably
I
cussing
mean,
me and
You're doing better than a lot of
questioning-
people I've seen play.
questioning
the
my
first time.
parentage and my gender orientation and
Yeah.
all sorts of things. But
Objective
I'm good.
We'll say you're doing a hell of a lot better than Derek did the
Oh,
first time he
that's-
played.
That's comforting. Can I? I can't deploy.
Because he doesn't really play video games.
Yeah.
We have taken objective Edward.
I'm a spawning developer, so I should hope that I would do better than someone who doesn't actually play video games.
Well, you got to make a game like this, but based off of the Armament series. Little plastic
So
Armament.
what's my grenade toss?
R1.
We have lost objective Charlie.
I don't think I have a grenade then. Because R1 ain't throwing nothing.
It's L1. It's one of those two.
It's one of the top buttons. You'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did that dude just come out of nowhere? Did the Allies
he
have
jumped over
cloaking
it.
technology? Because I don't
They-
remember that in any of the history books.
Yeah, I think they do.
I mean, I'm okay with it because I'm, but still, really?
Yeah. Maybe it is L1. I don't know why. It's like one of those things where it's like I just play. I just know how to do it,
Yeah.
but I forget. Someone said they want to see you play Battlefield 3. I'm guessing that's the one. That's like the modern one. Oh yeah, the R1 is for spotting. That's right. L1 is Yeah, that's how you throw the
Okay,
grenade.
got it.
My bad. Giving you bad advice over here.
It's all good. Wasn't like it was going to help one way or the other. Blame you later.
Yeah.
First it'll be you, then it'll be the controller. You know, it's the standard gamer progression.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with your controller, man. This controller's messed up.
When you start blaming the TV, that's when you really lost it.
Yeah, it's this monitor. It's not high enough resolution. Is this 4K HDR? Because I only play in 4K HDR. Be easier if I could, like...
Got to your left.
Found that one.
Those tanks are brutal.
Yeah, because even grenades won't take them out.
Oh, the guy corrected me. He said Black Ops 3, not Battlefield 3. The Black Ops games seem like the better of the Call of Duty games. That's a friendly trap, don't worry. Oh, man.
That dude was coming for us, dude.
Yeah, he was.
He's not playing around. We have got to get rid of that tank.
Yeah, just mowing that whole wall down. You're going to want to go with a
Support.
class. Well, actually, you can use the rocket gun in the assault class. And those are pretty effective with the tanks.
Well, I can't here we go. So which is it?
Yeah. So go over to hit L1. Yeah, right there. Hit triangle. Okay. Now go over.
Here?
Yeah, and then go all the way down. The last gun that's not,
This
faded
one?
out. Yeah, that's the one you want right there. That's a great gun. And then, see, now you're in a different class.
Oh.
Let's see, L1, I think. Yeah. Let's see, it went the other way. Keep going. Yeah, right
There it
there.
is.
So right there, the gadget number 1, that's a rocket gun.
Okay.
You can only shoot it laying down or if you're like behind something.
Okay.
And then that other like grenade thing, like grenade bouquet basically.
It's an anti-tank grenade.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So, and then you've also got the regular grenade too. Yeah, those things are pretty cool. It's like a stick grenade where they just like attached a bunch of them on the end.
We have lost objective Duff.
Yeah, people tear me up with that gun, like the medic class. They're so I'll tell you, the medics can be like the worst campers. It seems like they're always sneaking around. Damn medical professionals.
I blame medicos. Sneaky corpsmen. All right.
Thanks, Will. Appreciate that. Oh, other Will. Sorry, there's a Will over there.
It's all good. There's my slide.
Oh. Got him. Wounded
Somebody
Gazelle
got
is
me.
his name. It's a weird.
It's
Some
all
of the
right.
names are weird.
His buddy got me, so we're good.
Ah.
I got killed by Trini slippers. That's not humiliating at all, in the least. There was a guy one time I was playing Crucible on Destiny, and the guy's name was Too Old, Too Slow.
That's funny.
We are getting this crap kicked out of us here. I'd rather not have a... Oh, that freaking pulling a knife, dude, is kind of...
Lost objective Edward.
Yeah, it's because you're pushing, hitting R3.
Yeah, I'm hitting R3 when I'm trying to turn around.
Yeah. I'll show you a different handgun that you might like. So you go like a triangle, and then go down where the sidearms are. Go over, get the Colobri right up above it, right there. Yeah, do that one.
That's amazing. How is that even a thing?
Whatever. It's so funny when he pulls it out because he plays with it for a second. And he's just like.
All right.
Halfway
I
there,
think it
the
does like
enemy has the upper
1%
hand.
damage or something. I was determined to kill someone with it one night, but
Did it work?
Nah, I never was able to.
I was determined. It didn't say I was
I
successful.
I tried hard. Oh, someone said, why do I have the settings where everyone speaks English? Yeah, that's one thing, like, so I think in the game normally, the different people, like, use the language of the country they're from, but I don't know, I just put it on English. I want to hear what they're saying. I want to understand it.
Is there any way to tell?
We have
So,
an airship en route.
Oh, and that rocket gun, if you want to fire off some rounds with that, you basically lay down and hit either to the left or right on the little pad thing. And it's pretty sweet. It's kind of like the same power as like a tank round.
We have lost objective apples. Our airship has arrived.
Oh man, whenever those things come down, it's pretty awesome. Those big Hindenburgs. Oh,
Fucking sniper. How'd I get off of this thing?
square.
Oh,
Gotcha.
knew it. There he is.
Yep. Yeah, he's probably good. Let's about to just get out of there.
We have taken objective butter.
I see him.
If you launch one of those rocket shells, you might be able to get him.
Yeah, he's still sitting right up there.
A bastard.
Moose Nuck again.
Objective Edward.
Hey, what?
Moose Nuck.
Oh. Oh, man, it is.
Yep. All right.
We have lost objective butter.
This kind of looks like a sniper's paradise, though.
Yeah, it does. That's a nice rifle. G98. It's kind of the predecessor to the K98. Yeah, just be glad we're not doing hardcore mode. In hardcore mode, there's friendly fire, so you get like run over by your own tanks and killed by your own people all the time.
Oh, that's nice.
Because you don't know, like, the only way to know really who the good guys and the bad guys are just by the uniforms.
A roost.
Damn, your gun's all muddy.
Yeah. I hate when that happens.
Oh, there you go. There's a guy right there.
Really?
What an asshole. What is he doing?
Getting us all killed, apparently.
Look how he jumped into that grenade. I think he killed himself with his own grenade. I don't know what that guy was doing.
He was literally interfering with exactly what I was doing.
He's like on your squad, too. There you go. I see the glimmer from a scope. Oh, somebody got it. Oh, there's one right there.
We have lost objective Edward.
Man, the scope drift on this is ridiculous. Jesus. How did you get to be a sniper when your scope drift is that bad?
We have taken
Yeah, really.
objective butter.
Were you laying down or were you?
Yeah, completely prone. And he was like,
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm like, what were you doing, bro?
Drank too much coffee.
Apparently. Going again. Those for a second. Can get to where I need to be.
We have lost objective butter.
Oh yeah, someone brought that up. The reason the scope was drifting is because he was shooting at you. That's right. I
Oh, is
forgot
that what
about
it
that.
is?
Yeah, that's like an effect in the game. When you're taking fire, it kind of makes it wobbly. Which I guess maybe if bullets are whizzing by you while you're trying to
Yeah.
set up a target, maybe that's how it will happen. There you go. See some fellers down there. Oh.
Where the hell is he?
Oh, nice. Right in the face. That was awesome.
Thank you.
We have taken objective
The guy
Charlie.
keeps like crouching right in your face. It's like on your own team, he's trying to teabag you.
Yeah. You're laying down. Yeah, I'm. I can use a medic right about
We
now.
have lost objective apples.
Oh man, tearing him up with the 1911. Maybe it's true what they say.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Uh-oh. The guy just got skewered. That was a nice little run there. Oh,
Yeah, it
still
was.
in it.
We have taken objective butter.
Tell you, getting stabbed with a bayonet would be one of the least fun ways to
Yeah.
die in war.
That's a given.
Talk about
We
a
cannot stay in here.
yeah. Talk about a hard-fought contest though. Two people with bayonets going at each
Yeah.
other. I mean, neither one. It's like the stakes could not be any higher. I feel like the mantra of like now or never would be running through your head over and over.
We have lost objective butter.
You guys got the big machine gun. Someone else asked what we're playing on. It's PlayStation 4.
God. I'm playing on the ground right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
God.
Appreciate the teabag, medic. God. Just gonna change my name to Shark Bait.
So that guy's doing like positive tea bags. It's like, hey, I just revived you.
You owe me.
Yeah.
Ain't that kind of war, bro?
Medical services for favors.
Yeah, exactly.
We are losing.
Are we? I couldn't tell from the 952 to 581. Really?
Oh, he's teabagging the other dude too. They're both teabagging.
Apparently, that's a thing in war now. I don't remember that
Yeah.
in basic, but apparently that's what you do for your corpsmen now. Like,
Yep.
We have lost objective Charlie.
That'd be the thing. Like, no matter how realistic video games become and how
it
immersive,
will always be a thing. Yeah.
there'll always be teabaggers to like just take you completely out of the environment. Like, oh man, I thought this was real until that happened.
Until I got teabagged by my corpsman. Pretty sure that's not like this dick face right here in front of me. Like, seriously.
We have
Because they keep doing it because they hear us talking about it.
Probably, yeah.
We have taken objective.
We don't notice it anymore.
Would have been so bad if, we might have had a better chance had.
Yeah. Oh man.
They're gonna make a game eventually. It's just gonna be the objects that we teabag as many people as possible.
Yeah,
in the war
exactly.
zone. Lipton Hall. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's play that one then.
Man. All right, we want to just play a little more, and then
Yeah.
and then in a minute while you're playing, I'll go ahead and get everything set up for the podcast, and we'll just continue the stream. We'll just roll right.
Yeah,
into
we'll just
the-
roll right over there and do our thing.
Yeah, roll right
one
into
more,
the podcast.
one more utter humiliating defeat, and we'll move on with our
Yeah,
lives.
exactly. It's fun. I like doing this stuff. Sometimes people have asked, how do I know when to catch a live stream? The problem is I don't really. I mean, I can announce it on Facebook, but usually I do these very just like.
Spur of the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it was like one night I was like, I'm just gonna live stream, and I'll just turn it on, and I'll just play video games.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun because like I talk to, I see the comments, talk.
So
to
what do you have
people
to do to
and-
get a squad spawn? I noticed I got that 4 or 5 times. Like.
Oh, that's when people spawn on you.
Right.
So like when you're looking at that map and all the different places, there's little green dots.
Oh, okay.
And if you spawn on one of those, it's like you're spawning on a specific person.
Gotcha. So I just should continue. There we
Yeah.
go. No,
And they're, if they're watching the live stream, they're wanting to spawn on you so they can see themselves in the.
Oh, gotcha. I'm YouTube famous. Which is fine. I mean, I'm not even YouTube famous, so what are you gonna do?
I'm not either, actually.
I guess I'm going in here.
Yeah. Ooh, that's the worst gun we could possibly have in this map.
Is it really?
Yeah, because it's very close quarters and there's no like long shots really. The shotgun is a good choice.
Well, when I die, I'll change over.
Yeah, if that happens.
Yeah. When. With an overpronounced H. When that happens.
I like this guy's name. Insanity kicks in. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. What's this? USAA? Is this guy advertising? Like, is that what that is down
I
there?
guess. I don't know.
Congrats, bro.
Yep.
I had USAA once. It's a good bank. I enjoyed them.
Maybe you can get like paid for like advertising through your gamer tag.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to advertise, that's what you should.
Yeah, might as well play video games while you do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you advertise USAA in a World War I game, you know your audience. That's all I'm saying.
Like those huge shells stacked up there. It's cool. It's like some giants got into a shootout.
Yeah.
I can't wait till the military has that thing from that big walking thing from Avatar. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I love that thing.
Where is Hellfire Junction? Don't follow on me, guys. It's my first time on the map. Do not be
And you have a sniper rifle in the jungle, or in the woods.
in the woods.
Yeah, forget that wars with trees were once fought in the woods and not jungle.
Yeah. Is that tear gas?
No, that's just smoke. The gas that kills you is usually in this game it's like a green or yellow color.
God.
Another thing that's not too realistic is in this game they have like handheld gas grenades. That wasn't exactly a thing, but still cool though.
All right.
Yeah, I would go with the shotgun, the Model A10. It's in the assault class, because man, you get, like I said, you get close to somebody, you pop them with that, they're done.
So
Yeah, triangle.
triangle. Okay.
Yeah, and then go over, and it's one of the first ones. Yeah, Model 10A, the Hunter. That's the one you want. Oh yeah.
All right, I'll give that a go.
Yeah, take him out with that.
I don't think I need that.
Dynamite.
It might not be a bad one, I don't guess. All right. So I guess I'm going in on D.
We are losing objective Duff.
Problem is going to be getting in close enough on
We
him.
have taken
Yeah.
objective Charlie.
You got two people following you.
That's all right. I'm heading for D anyway, so.
Uh-oh.
We
They're
have
everywhere.
lost objective Duff.
See them right over that ridge. Yeah, getting down the trenches really is probably the best spot for the other shot.
God dang it. That guy. At least he's dead now.
Yeah. There he goes, teabagging you after. It's customary at this point.
It really is. Thank you, sailor.
We have lost objective Charlie.
Got him. Germans don't use shotguns. But I do think there was some kind of issue in World War I where I think it was Germany. They had a problem with our use of shotguns, and they tried to make them outlaw them under Geneva Convention, and we were pretty much like, nope,
Oh, wow.
because of how devastating they are. But I mean, the thing is, though, they are devastating, but it's still it's still kind of balanced because it's only at close range.
You know, I'm thinking. Hold on a second. Not that I'm like second guessing your advice here.
I mean, yeah, you might do better with a submachine gun.
Where is it? There's what I want. I think I'll do better with a full machine gun, actually.
Yeah.
In
Also,
this situation.
there's also a BAR too.
Let's see what we got. Suppressive.
The Lewis gun, BAR. The BAR has you have to reload more often, but shoots a little faster and little better for close encounters. But that MG15 is hard to beat. And also, they got a few different versions of it there too. One without the
We
like
have lost
scope thing.
objective Edward.
I think I'm going to go with the low weight. Yeah. I'll go with the suppressive. That worked out very well last time.
I like having the crosshair. I like that with the regular guns too. Even if it's low magnification, there's something about having that crosshair right there. Just my eye picks it up really well.
Yeah.
I like the precision of it. Oh, there it goes. That situation right there where you're almost better off just laying down, and then you can.
We are losing objective Duff.
You hit him in the back with that grenade. It was on your own teammates. Didn't kill him, of course, but
Yeah.
it was just a good shot.
Where is that guy coming from? There.
Oh, yeah. Comes out of the ground. Oh, didn't have much of a chance.
Wow.
There.
We have taken objective Duff.
I'm standing up now, dumbass. You're teabagging my boot. Is that like a thing for you?
His gun is gold, you know, so.
Yeah.
I keep thinking that says Insanity Kitchen, not Insanity Kitchen. Oh, gas it up on the pad. Up.
Now up on the pad.
Yeah. That's
Is that
gas
mustard?
mask. Yeah.
He's dead now. I'll take that.
Yep. Gas took him out.
No, I think he took him out. I think he stabbed him.
Ah, okay.
Objective Duff.
That gun shoots really fast. It's got like a super high rate of fire.
Yeah. Low accuracy, though.
Yeah.
We have lost objective Duff.
I'll take this one for now.
People keep telling me I need to play Overwatch. I'm not familiar with that game.
I've played it a couple times. It's fun.
Yeah.
The enemy controls all objectives.
Someone just now noticed my the thumbnail as the Hemeyer dozer. You know what that is? In Colorado, this guy named something Hemeyer got really angry with the local government. And he spent like years building a tank out of a
Oh,
bulldozer.
yeah. I know the story. I didn't know the name.
Yeah. It's a pretty impressive thing. And one thing, you know, like, I wouldn't speak about it the way that I do if it hadn't been for the fact that he didn't actually kill anyone.
Yeah.
He planned to, apparently, but he, you know, he decided not to, which I'm glad, so glad he did that. I mean, what he did was wrong, of course, but still, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, it's a cool story. Still, just no one got hurt. Oh yeah, old Dragon Dog been around too much longer. It's one of those World War I red dot sites.
Yeah.
That dude's just teabagging you as much as possible. Like, will not leave you alone.
We're actually losing the objective because he's teabagging it. I think I'm just about done, dude.
Okay.
Because that just, like, I get it, it's funny, but
Yeah.
like, if you're willing to like sacrifice that for actually, you know, being able to play the game, I'm
Yeah,
kind of
really.
done. Like,
Well, let me get. I'll get everything set up. You want to keep
Alright.
playing for a second?
Yeah.
No.
Enemy controls all objectives.
It's because the guys on my team are more interested in teabagging than actually taking the objective. Which, you know, while noble, I got it set up. So this is why I like hardcore mode, because when people do that, you can literally just like, yeah.
All right. Can you guys? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Will?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Will you guys let me know what my audio sounds like? If it sounds good or bad, or you know, those are the two options.
That's all you get, good or bad.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go into the podcast now.
All right.
Some of you guys are going to be, that are coming in late, might be confused, but this is normally we would do a podcast with Will, not play video games. But I thought it'd be kind of fun.
No, it is fun. It is.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it. We're at 7:30. We can finish this one out. They're going to destroy us in a minute anyway.
Okay. All right, cool. Somebody said the audio was good on that earlier. Yeah, I think I'm not even going to start a new stream. I'm just going to go right into this one, and then later I'll use the YouTube editor. Nope. Oh. I got you.
Seriously.
With the pistol, too. Brian asked if I still do stand-up. Yeah, I still do that. I haven't had any shows in a while, just mostly just open mics. Been really busy, so I haven't been able to go to as many open mics as I like to. I normally like to do like, you know, somewhere between 3 or 5 a week, but I've been doing more like, you know, 1 or 2 a week. So, you know, trying to get back in the groove and hopefully start doing some more actual shows before too long. Oh, God.
We have lost objective Duff.
Dude, still
trying to teabag my boot. It's the toe of my boot, bro. Like, it's not doing anything for me. It's not doing anything. Maybe it's doing something for you. I don't know.
Oh, he's dead. Someone killed him.
Taken objective Edward.
Matt says he has 10 Culinary kills. Wow.
I'd like to actually...
Yes. Yeah, no one's ever gotten me with a Culinary. I've never killed anyone with one, but I want to change that at some point.
We are losing objective Edward.
I think I see a bunch of them. Oh, there's a guy. No, he's dead.
We have lost objective Edward.
How are they still the underneath? Is that how they're still capturing it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yep, they're underneath. Which that's treacherous going in there when there's a bunch of people held up. Look at that guy stuck in the ceiling. No, for a second he was. Still teabagging
Not
away.
helpful.
Maybe he's good cover. He has to have at least taken a few bullets for you.
Yeah.
And Nick says he wants to shoot elite infield. Yeah, I definitely recommend that. Those are cool guns. I'm excited about that movie that's coming out, Dunkirk.
Yeah, I am too. That looks like it's gonna be really good.
Yeah. Be a lot of infield action in that one.
We are losing. We have taken objective Edward.
Someone said that Papa Hickok is the real gamer of the family. Dad recently made a joke in one of the videos. We're doing this gun. That's one that's common in Resident Evil 4, and it's one of the broom handles, and like the Red 9 from the game. You ever play Resident Evil 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the Red 9, and I told him about it, and he made this joke about how he plays video games for like 8 hours a day or something like that, and there were people that believed it, that thought it was real.
That's awesome.
That's pretty great. Okay, I got to set up over there.
Heck of a lag over here, dude.
Oh yeah, it's big.
It's kind of creepy, actually.
Yeah.
Well, like 7-second delay, so in case I say something.
No, I mean I can't do anything with it.
It's, just,
but,
it's going out one way or the other.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, let's see. There's me.
The empty chair.
Yeah. And we will split screen it. Yeah. I'll get that set up once you sit down. All right. Turn this off. But we're still live. Meanwhile,
Yeah. So you might just.
Yeah, if you just want to go
Is
over
there a
there.
set of okay.
There's headphones over there. All right, bear with us. We're gonna we're gonna transfer into podcast mode here. Yeah.
Optimus podcast. Which coincidentally, I heard that movie was not amazing, which made me sad because I really wanted to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm one of those people like they've ruined Transformers. When in the back of my mind, I know the whole thing was just like a marketing ploy from Hasbro in the first place. But I'm just there. We go, and we're back.
Yeah, I thought of that too. I was watching some Ninja Turtles with my son actually. And,
they've ruined Ninja Turtles.
It was actually the old ones I was watching. I was thinking about that. I was like, marketing definitely is in mind when they introduce a new character.
Oh yeah,
so they can sell more toys. But again, it's like whatever. It's a cool show. It's everyone wins.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping. I mean, I'm eventually going to watch. The last night. Probably I'm going to wait for it to come out on video though, or stream or whatever they do now. Showing my age when it comes out on video. Back in the day, it actually did come out on video. It's a fun game. I mean, I didn't get nearly as upset as I thought I was going to. Probably because I was okay with losing so much because I've never played it before. So, anytime I killed anybody, I was like, woohoo! All right, there we go.
All right. I'm getting kind of a weird thing. Hang on.
Talking about that sort of rattling sound?
It's not that. But that's part of it.
It's like I heard that earlier. I think that's like it sounds like a fan or something. Oh.
Did that fix it?
No, that's not. I don't. Maybe that. No, there's. It went to like I'm listening to life through a cardboard tube. That's the sound's fuller there, but the rattle's back. Is that what is that rattle?
There's a loop. Something's going through it twice.
That's what the rattle is?
The rattle sounds weird because there's something looping through it, I think.
Oh, okay.
This is what it is. Figured it out.
What is it?
The camera's recording audio.
Oh.
I don't want that.
Still got a bit of a rattle.
Did it feel like it did go down some?
I don't really think so, but
It's part of the air conditioner.
that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it sounds like as an air conditioner vent.
But it shouldn't have that weird sound to it. Let's see. Hopefully that fixed it. Alright. Nope, that did not fix it.
No. That rattle. I mean, it's just. I think it's just the AC vent. Like it's not going to go away until.
No, it's not the rattle. There's something else going on that I can hear. Sorry, bear with us.
You're doing better than me because I can't hear it. I don't know if maybe they can, but must be those musicians' ears or something. Well, the rattle went away.
All right, I'm gonna try this. I still feel like there's some kind of sound.
Now
on.
I definitely hear it. It just sounds like there's like it's almost like. Well, the best thing is like when you stick your ear to a cardboard tube or like a seashell or something like that.
Yeah,
it's just going on in the background.
Okay. I mean, it could be the something with the compressor. Let me try something.
All right. Because I mean, it sounded pretty good once the rattle went away and then the compressor kicked in.
All right.
There we go.
Let's see. Over here, it sounds fine though. That's kind of strange. Oh, I think the compressor was jacked up all the way on mine.
Oh, that might be why then.
Yeah, I bet that was it. All right. Sorry about this, guys. We're getting there. Okay. Now I'm gonna go sit down again and try to. I feel like gonna be. I feel like what's gonna happen is it's not gonna be better, and I'm gonna have to get back up and come back over here and mess with something.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, let's do that. I think that was it.
Good?
Yeah, I think we're good now.
Cool.
All right.
All right. So back again.
Okay.
All right.
Let me make sure that I've got this here. It's working. Go on to the YouTube channel. Damn it. That's not what I want to do. And then we'll start talking about stuff and things.
Works for me. Man, why am I yawning? I got up at like 10:30 this morning.
Yeah.
It's time for me to go to bed. Well, they did just live for like 4 battles in World War I. That's true. That'll take it out of anybody, you know.
Yeah.
Combat fatigue.
I wish you'd seen what I just saw. Like as soon as I pulled up the video because of the delay, it was you going like that.
Nice.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Sweet, and I got the live chat right here
Awesome.
coming in. So
Well, my phone's about to die, so I can't watch the live chat.
all right, I'll just kind of leave it up and I'll check it periodically. So if you guys want to ask questions, I'll kind of check it out periodically and whatnot. But
You'll have to hope that your question pops up as he's checking it out.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Will is here again
Woo-hoo!
on Gun Culture Radio.
Yep. Wearing my Wash from Firefly shirt. So,
yeah. I like that.
Super geeked out tonight.
Yeah, that's interesting that you said that because I had a thought the other day. So my wife and I went back and rewatched Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Have you seen that show?
You know what? Everybody's like, "Oh, Breaking Bad." I don't think I've seen a single episode of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we went watching back through it, and I was thinking, so you won't, I guess, have an opinion on this then, but I was just going to say that as sad as it was that Firefly didn't, go on for more seasons, like Breaking Bad is such a good show that to me, it's like I wouldn't trade. Like if someone asked me, you could trade only getting to see the first season of Breaking Bad for getting to see like several seasons of Firefly. I don't think I could do it.
See, I don't know because like we don't know what Firefly would have become. I think at this point I'd be like, no, let's do that because I don't know. Like I think Firefly could have been a lot more, and I just Fox.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say. Fox. Okay, the show, the network that is still running The Simpsons. Do you realize that The Simpsons have been on Fox since its inception?
Yeah.
Like they started out on as a short on the Tracy Ullman Show, and the Tracy Ullman Show was one of the shows that Fox did.
Fox's inception. I think it meant like The Simpsons.
No. They literally Fox has the Simpsons have been on Fox in one form or another since the first Sunday.
That's crazy.
That Fox started. Yeah, because they started out on the Tracy Ullman Show. It was like a little short, and then they grew from there.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. There's got to be only so much you can do with that. Like,
yeah, and I've gone back and I've watched some of the newer Simpsons episodes. I'll catch them like on Hulu or something like that. Occasionally I'll be like, oh, this is still pretty good, and then other times I'll watch an episode and it's like feels like a chore to even get through it.
Why am I still? No. Yeah. Well, I mean that's like I don't know, like that's kind of like South Park to me, man. Like I watched it for like first 2 or 3 seasons, and I haven't watched it in forever, and it's still on.
Yeah.
It's just like I guess there's just so much on TV now that it just I don't know. It's just that easy to kind of stay successful. I don't know. Like it seems like it would being more options, you'd have to be somewhere above the cut. Yeah. And maybe they are, and I'm just not there anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I definitely feel like shows, they sort of run their course.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's good when shows kind of can run a course and kind of go away naturally. A nice end, and stuff like that. Like you don't want to just run one into the ground.
No, like Happy Days.
Yeah. Or like Gunsmoke or like some of those shows.
Just Happy Days. Happy Days went on so long that there's literally like a term in Hollywood that came from Happy Days trying to stay viable.
Did Jumping the Shark?
Jumping the Shark. Yeah. Like still like what was Amber and I were watching something the other day, like something Shark Week's gonna do.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow, Shark Week has just jumped the shark. Like even when she was even talking about it, she was like, yeah, and Henry Winkler's going to host it. I was like, are you serious? She was like, no. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I got where you were going with that, but I thought maybe, Discovery was that self-aware that they realized what they were doing, and so they had, Henry Winkler hosting it. I can't remember what it was, but it was like, are they actually going to do that? I can't remember what it was, but it was some like literally Shark Week has jumped the shark. It was crazy.
They're just like reaching so far that there's an insane realm of
I cannot remember for the life of me what it is. Like it's something they're doing this next Shark Week.
Yeah, did it like a Stingray episode or something?
No, it's not even. No, it's literally something. It's something to do with sharks that's literally so like completely out there that you're just like, what?
Like alien sharks?
I don't know. Like I think they're like slathering themselves in chum or something. Like I'm not really sure. It's something it's something along that level. It's like so unbelievably dangerous that it's just ridiculous. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. You might be able to even Google Shark Week jumps the shark and somebody may have already thrown it out there that that's what they're doing. But I forget what it was now. So.
Yeah, that's the problem with you have a show that's like, or I see this in YouTube too, like that's based on constantly wowing your audience.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just continue to put out what you put out and people like it. It's like what part of what makes you good is that you keep upping the bar.
Yeah,
it's like you can only do that for so long.
Yeah, I mean, a la Jackass.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much you can do, and then some people are like, yeah, okay, you're swimming in sewage, seen it, thanks, next, click,
Yeah.
At some point, you've reached the limits of what you can, do
Yeah.
and not die.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah, until they just like murder each other.
Yeah, exactly. This week on Jackass, going at each other with bayonets.
Yeah, saw off an arm.
Exactly.
Yep. Oh yeah, that reminds me of something I was going to say. Did you hear about NASA had to actually announce that there was not some kind of child slavery camp on Mars? Did you hear about that?
I saw something about it. I couldn't I flipping through it. I was like, that's an interesting headline. No, because it's just I'm getting older, and so I cherish my IQ points, and so I literally could not go into that and read it. What's the backstory on
to
that?
me, the story isn't the thing with Mars. The story is just that NASA actually had to do it. To me, that's hilarious.
No, that's that's my thing. They literally had to. No, we don't have child, labor on Mars. Really? That's that was the company I work for, and I'm not going to say any names or anything, but apparently we're an international company and we do some stuff in the UK, and so apparently we got there's a thing in the UK where you certain businesses you have to prove that you're either actively working against slavery or you don't employ any form of slavery. It's really bizarre.
Weird.
We've gotten 3 or 4 requests from different companies making sure that we don't do that, and I'm like, heck, no, no, we don't. And it's just
a health score, a slavery score.
Slavery score, 100%.
Yeah.
You employ 0 slaves. Well, good for us. In 2017, there we don't. Buy humans off the black market.
Not often, at least.
Not enough to get caught.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. It was crazy to me that you've literally got to profess that you don't employ slavery. It was very bizarre.
That's bizarre. I know supposedly where it came from was, and I heard someone did, at first it seemed just ridiculous and NASA would even say anything about it, but someone made a point that kind of made some sense, strangely enough. Apparently Alex Jones had some guest on his show. Yeah. Of course it starts with
coming back. Okay, moving on.
You had to know that's where this story was going to start.
No, here's the thing, though. It's getting to the point that I think Alex Jones and CNN might actually have the same sources, though. I think that's the funny part about the whole situation.
Yeah, probably.
But go ahead. Okay, no.
So Alex Jones had, and I haven't actually seen the interview, but I just read articles about it. Alex Jones had some guest on that proposed a concept that apparently there's child slave labor camps on Mars and NASA was involved, which I guess would make sense if there's something on Mars, and so I don't know that Alex Jones necessarily said that he thought it was true. I just think it was just someone on his show. I mean, he has a lot of time to fill. He has he's on air for 4 hours a day.
Yeah, I know. And after
so I can at least understand why something pretty crazy. Alex Jones says crazy things himself. I can only imagine what some of his guests might say.
Yeah.
So that doesn't necessarily surprise me too much. But the fact that NASA felt like they need to say something about it apparently comes from there was a shooting that I guess I didn't hear about it until I was reading about this. Man, I wish I had this information in front of me. Alex Jones said something. Oh, it was the Pizzagate thing. Yeah. Apparently the Pizzagate thing that Alex Jones, it was his big thing, caused someone to shoot up that place or something. And so NASA felt like they needed to come out and say, hey, this isn't happening, because they were afraid that someone might listen to the show and then try to
I thought
attack
Pizzagate
them.
was 3 or 4 years ago, though, wasn't it?
I don't know. They were talking about it a lot recently. I mean, in the past year or so. But
I don't, because that wasn't.
Yeah, I don't have a full grasp on all that stuff either.
Maybe I've got Pizzagate confused. What is Pizzagate?
Pizzagate is a thing where it was a pizza place somewhere in Washington D.C. where all these politicians were supposedly running a child sex ring, basically.
Oh, okay. Now I'm good. Okay, yeah. I thought Pizzagate was. There's been a lot of pizza oriented things in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that from that Podesta email? Is that the same,
Could be.
Yeah, that thing, I'm not a fan of Podesta, but you got to be reaching on some of that stuff, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about that.
So somebody went in and shot up a pizza parlor.
Right.
Because they believed that Washington, D.C. politicians were running a child sex slavery ring on Mars.
No, not on Mars. less crazy
Okay.
on Earth.
On Earth. Okay.
The Mars thing was a different, isolated incident.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute. I'm stringing way too many conspiracies together. Whew.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the Twin Towers.
Got it. So it wasn't on Mars. It was in the Twin Towers. But
it was it was in the Twin Towers. There are on Mars.
on Mars.
Yeah.
Okay, the World Trade Center, Mount Olympus. Got it. Olympus Mons.
JFK runs them.
Yeah. With Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah.
And Hitler's the concierge.
Yeah, I think
I've been there.
Yeah, I think it's Gulf of Tonkin themed. I think.
Nice.
I don't know.
Nice.
I'm just
Now we're out
this
there. JFK runs a shooting range. Too soon? Too soon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I had not heard that NASA had to deny that there was child slavery on Mars.
They claim to have a good reason for it because they didn't want it. They're trying to avoid some kind of incident. But I mean, I almost feel like you give justification and legitimacy to things like that by even commenting on them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah and no, because like it's getting to the point like every time I flip on, I don't want to watch the news, but every time I like pull up one of the news apps on my phone, it's like somebody's either shooting a politician or threatening to shoot a politician, and it's on the left and the right, and it's just like, man, there's too many crazies at this point.
Yeah,
and you get it's blowing my mind.
Yeah, it's because there's a lot of us, and I feel like it sort of has been like a snowball effect, sort of.
Yeah.
It's like something crazy happens, and it makes everyone be like, "Oh man, we're crazy," so we blame each other.
Yeah.
Like, it's these people. It's these people.
Yeah.
And then the extremes on like whatever in those groups, they're like, "Well, I'm going to do something," and then it's just like it just constantly feeds itself.
Well, I mean, it's not helping on the left that they're letting these Antifa kids get away with all this silly crap that they're getting away with.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I mean, to their credit, I guess a lot of the left politicians are coming out and being like, "Hey, you guys got to stop this," but it's not stopping. I mean, there's still there's riots in Germany over the weekend.
Yeah.
You got De Blasio going over there. Literally leaving New York City to fly to Germany to badmouth America in Europe. You know what I mean? I'm just like, really?
Yeah. And then even stuff like people that listen to the show know I don't like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But like that thing recently where he went to Poland and like the prime minister wouldn't shake his hand and stuff like that.
But that got totally got fixed. Like that there wasn't even anything wrong because it wasn't the prime minister. It was like his wife or something.
That's right. Yeah, it was.
And then the prime minister came out and like, no, that's not what happened at all. And it's just it's
yeah.
It's CNN.
Yeah.
And it's just like those guys can't get their crap together to save their life right now. Like every time they turn around, they're embroiled in something new and stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they got beat up by Trump.
Well, they threatened to dox a Redditor. Did you? Yeah. Like that's a great idea. Really? You took you took on Reddit? Like really? That was brilliant, dude. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like a bunch of Redditors turned around and was like, "Well, here's all your personal information." And it was just like you really. That's like the guy a while back that said he had they tracked down several high level leaders of Anonymous. And in retaliation, like several anonymous hackers published all of his emails, his home address, his phone number, and then it's just sort of a extra slap upside the head remotely wiped his iPad. And it's just like, would you guys quit picking fights with these people? They're better at this than you, know, and it's just,
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's like, again, it even further muddies the waters of like what is behind all this stuff. Is it just a bunch of people acting,
I don't think there's anything to be behind it
lunatics,
anymore. I think it's just where we're at this point. Like,
yeah,
we've taken the culture war keeps escalating, and nobody wants to listen to anybody anymore. The rights. Well, we won the election, and the left's doubling down on. Well, you're still a bunch of morons.
Yeah.
And so it's just we're not. It's just going to keep getting worse because nobody wants to really come to any sort of agreement on where we are. Nobody wants to compromise. Everybody's 100% right about everything they believe, and it's just, there's no middle ground anymore. There's this massive gulf, and take it how you will, but there's a massive gulf with a few of us in the middle going, guys,
what happened?
Like, why does it have to be like this? And then we're I get labeled, my belief system gets labeled extremist. You know, I'm take some stuff from the left, take some stuff from the right, and I ended up being a naive extremist because I'm like, well, can't we just leave each other alone and do as we do? Like,
Yeah.
can't we have freedom of association, for privately run businesses and people, and and it's getting completely ridiculous.
It's like we live in a world full of control freaks. Everybody wants to.
Yeah.
It's like it's not enough just to have control of their own lives. They got to control everybody else's.
Well, here's the
at same
thing:
time.
99% don't even have control of their own lives.
Yeah,
They
that's
can't
true.
control themselves, and they
Yeah.
want control of everybody else.
It's like that old thing about, like how can you expect to fix the world's problems if you can't even clean your own room?
yeah,
you know?
exactly. It's the whole mote out of your neighbor's eye, and you got a beam sticking out of yours.
Yeah.
But I mean, most people don't even have the self-control. I mean, barely enough self-control to get to work in the morning, on both sides. And then they want to be in charge of everybody else because what they believe is 100% right. It's like ethnocentrism to, the 10th power.
Yeah.
Everything I was taught growing up was 100% correct. My grandpappy did it, my granddaddy did it, and I'm going to do it. And on the other side, they're like, well, this is all new, and we're right, and this is all great ideas. And it's not. It's the same old tribal identity horse crap, on
Yeah.
both sides. It's just that one side thinks they don't participate in that.
Yeah. And we're very short-sighted, I feel like.
Oh, God.
I feel like we think that, like you said, they think that these are all new ideas, but stuff's been tried a million times.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
tribalism. It's
Yeah.
tribalism across the board. I mean, but the party that tells us they're trying to unify everybody is literally the party that wants to break everybody up into groups.
Yeah.
And I'm just over it. And I'm really tired of certain things being used as insults that really aren't insults. That the people have. If we're supposed to believe that everybody's genetically planned, which, maybe we are, maybe we aren't, then why are we still using genetic markers as differentiation? That sounds like segregation and racism to me, but...
What do you mean, genetic markers?
Like, the term cis white male is becoming, a literal, like, insult. Well, you're a cis white male. What do you know? I'm sorry. I've been on your side in this fight for the last 30 years, and now all of a sudden I'm not worthy to stand next to you?
Yeah.
Cool. Have a good one.
That's something I've been thinking about some lately. It's if you are one of those like we are,
Yeah.
it's a very dangerous territory to talk about.
Yeah.
It really is, but it's like, and I don't even want to get too much into it, but it's just it's kind of strange how it feels like I felt like all the non-racist people were trying to help with, you start by just not being racist.
Yeah.
That's a good place to start.
Yeah.
But, I try to do my best to make people feel included that I feel like maybe would feel like they wouldn't be included in these situations. Do what I can. I'm not like some activist, going out.
Right.
But then it's like here lately in the past few years, it almost feels like you're just intentionally, like if you're white, especially if you're straight and white and a male, which is the whole cis thing means, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden you're the enemy automatically. So it sort of it makes you feel defensive, and you don't want to feel that way.
You don't want to feel defensive because you're there, you've been there, the whole time. Like I'm
right, and even talking about it, it makes people think, oh, what are you, like some kind of white power dude or something?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm just saying I don't understand why you're attacking people. Just again, we're talking about ending racism, but yet you're attacking people because they look a certain way.
Yeah, they look a certain way. They have a
sense.
certain sexual preference. I mean, if you really break it down, you're attacking someone for the way they look, their sexual preference, their gender identity. Like if you literally break it down into those scenarios, like how is this not racism, sexism? How is this not
It is, yeah.
For lack of a better term, homophobia, or heterophobia?
Yeah.
Like how is this not anything?
I totally understand that there are certain groups in this country and in the world that have a very dark history of how they've been treated by the rest of the world and by people who are white. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
And I try to be as understanding as possible of that, but I don't feel like it helps to pick an enemy when it comes
No,
to
it never does. But it's again, it's this doubling down on identity politics. It's getting to the point where it seems like my identity is becoming a monolithic thing. Like I'm the ambassador for every or someone else. You are and I am, and so whenever someone messes up that identifies as something like us, we just get lumped back into them, and it's just like, wait a minute, I'm not this thing that you're claiming I am, and it's absolutely, it's getting completely ridiculous, and they can't figure, and the people that are doing it can't figure out why they can't win, a presidential election. They can't figure out why they can't win, a Congress, a special election for Congress. They have not won a single election this year. There have been like 6 special elections, and they've lost every single stinking one of them.
Yeah.
They cannot get anybody in, and they're thinking, oh, we're going to take Congress in 2018. No, you're probably not. Because you keep doubling down on the things that caused you to lose the last election, and you lost the last election.
Yeah.
I don't care about the popular vote. Again, I don't like Trump, but on the other side of the equation, Hillary lost the rest of the country by more votes than she won California by.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So until you breach that, then you can come and see me, because you're telling me that California should be able to choose the president.
Right.
End of story, end of line. Well, California, no, they don't get to choose the president just because they have more people. That's what the Electoral College is about.
They have their own culture.
Yeah.
Like one specific culture or region in the United States shouldn't get to decide everything.
Exactly.
Or,
And that's
or
exactly
just populated areas shouldn't get to decide everything.
Exactly. And that's why we have, the Electoral College, is to limit the power of one subculture. And California is, by definition, its very own subculture.
It's part of what the Bill of Rights are about, too.
Yeah.
It's not like these are the rights we've picked out, unless you guys don't want them anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, it's like we know that the majority, might decide to take these rights away at some point. So we want to make sure that we put these in stone so that you have them, like guns and freedom of speech and all those things. No, I
agree, and to think that, and that's when people start saying, well, democracy this and democracy that. No, democracy is literally mob rule with a cheap veneer thrown across the top of it.
Yeah.
What
that's
we
why
need
it doesn't work when we try to put it in Iraq or wherever.
Or wherever else. Pure democracy is never going to work, and everyone knows that. What we need at the end of the day is all of the stuff in the Bill of Rights equally applied. That's really all we need. We don't need all of this other stuff that goes along. We literally just need all the stuff in the Bill of Rights equally applied.
Yeah. No
matter what your gender identity, your sexual preference, your biological sex, your melanin count, none of it. It just literally needs to be everything equally applied.
Yeah.
And you know what? I will say it's not right now. There are some issues. I get it, but the way certain people are going about trying to solve it are not helping the situation.
No, not at all. Picking sides, and I posted something on Facebook about, if you saw it or not. I said take off on a gun thing. I said the only thing that stops a bad guy with racism is a good guy with racism, because I feel like that's the logic
that we're at now,
that people are using.
No, and I totally get it. Yeah,
as long as it's a good guy being racist, then
we don't. Yeah, exactly. Fine. As long as it's somebody on my side, then it's not. As long as it's somebody on the left and not the alt right, whatever the hell that means. I'm still not really sure what the alt right is. It's just the latest right wing boogeyman, I guess. I don't know. I guess probably some of my beliefs had fallen into being alt right.
Yeah.
When you get down to it.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, that's all the world is now. Various political boogeymen.
Yeah, exactly. It's the left. It's the alt right. It's it's.
Yeah, and it's great. I was going through East Nashville. I was helping a friend move, and people who don't live in this area, most cities now have an East Nashville. Yeah, a gentrified neighborhood, basically, and
hipster central.
Yeah, exactly. And I was driving through there. And I saw this gigantic white sign. I mean, it was big. It was probably, 5 by 5 feet or something. It was a big old sign. And it had, this big, it was in someone's front yard. It had this thing that, said Black Lives Matter and blah, blah, and all these different, left kind of talking points, not necessarily stuff that I disagree with, because they try to keep it generic. They were kind of saying that, women, should be treated like everyone else. Stuff like that. Stuff you
can be like, yeah, sure, totally get that. And right on board.
Yeah, Black lives, of course they matter. They're human beings. Yeah, exactly. Anyone that's human, matters. Unless they've proven otherwise. They need to be in jail.
I start out with the generic concept of yes, your life matters, and then you can prove or disprove that concept as we move forward. But there's sort of a generic of your life matters.
Yeah, if you go around murdering people, it matters a little less.
A lot less. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. I wasn't like, I hate that person for that. So, but the fact that she felt like she needed to put that in her front yard. Yeah. And just gigantic big white advertisement almost, I was like, wow, it seems kind of odd to me.
Do we have to have? I mean, have we reached that point?
Yeah, it made me feel like things have gotten very extreme. That someone would put something like that in their front yard.
Yeah, and it just I don't know if it's very extreme. I was reading a thing. They did a study not too long ago that was that reason, and then we all, if you go back and watch some other podcast, you'll understand how I feel about standalone studies. But this one I'll mention just because it did seem to make a little bit of sense, and you can go find it if you want to, and see if there's been any verification studies done on it. But they were talking about being outraged for other groups of people assuages guilt that you feel for those groups of people. So
Outraged
basically,
by proxy.
yeah, pretty much. You know, I hate what Group A has done to Group B, even though I'm part of Group A, and that way all of this guilt I have being part of Group A somehow gets pushed off onto this other part of Group A, and so I'm actually not nearly as bad as Group A because I'm outraged on Group B's behalf with the rest of my group, and so it takes away a lot of the guilt. And some places, in a lot of places, like people do have the like guilt, the stuff that they've done, but it still helps to assuage that and put it off on somebody else because they've changed their ways.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's a lot, and so sometimes you wonder with people like that is, the lady doth protest too much. Like, what have you got in your closet somewhere that you have to throw all of that out on your lawn? Yeah. To somehow let everybody know how enlightened and woke as you are.
Yeah. It could also be just kind of like, I imagine those people get kind of like the whole white guilt thing. I imagine people get kind of a rush from feeling like we all want to belong. There's that natural tendency. So like when you see on the news and maybe certain media outlets that you watch or whatever, people being held up as heroes by talking about white people talking bad about other white people and acting and seeming so progressive or whatever, there's like a rush that you get from being a part of that. Yeah. And feeling like, I'm tip of the spear, progressive, and blah blah blah, and all this kind of stuff. Well,
see, I think if we just got back to a concept of individuality and individualism, that's about as progressive as we can possibly get. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we need to get rid of identity politics. Like, if your goal is to reach a post-racial, post-gender, post-whatever society, you're going to have to get... I don't understand how you can say I'm working towards a post-racial, post-gender society, and every word that comes out of your mouth is about race or gender. I don't understand. That would be like, Yeah. That'd be like me running around going, I'm trying to create a less violent society by shooting everyone. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get how that thought process works. Either you're working towards a post-racial, post-gender society, or you're literally doing everything you can to create one.
Yeah. And I think that out here in
looting everything to create a racial, gender-based society.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's probably not as bad as it seems. Out here in the real world, it doesn't seem like that. Like I've caught myself sometimes because, the media kind of, it sort of makes it feel like there's this, not a race war, but there's this like underlying, like a lot of tension going on between people of different races. So it's like when you're out in public,
you just don't see it.
You don't see it. But like sometimes I'll feel a little bit like, like, oh, I hope that they don't like hate me because they think I might be racist or something, because they're black and I'm white. But yeah, you don't experience it. Like a perfect example, the other day, a friend of mine who's a comedian brought he does Segway tours in Nashville, and he brought his Segway over to my house so I could try to ride it, So like, he's a white guy too, and we're like riding this Segway, like doing probably the whitest thing ever, like in a neighborhood riding a Segway around. He's riding my bicycle, I'm like riding his Segway, and this black guy came up to us. And he was like, started asking us all these questions about it, and it was like just being really cool. And he was telling us about this one he had and all this kind of stuff, And I was thinking, it's like, yeah, it's not as bad as
it can't be as bad as it. And so you wonder sometimes if it really isn't sort of like the media just trying to destabilize everything for ratings.
Yeah, it sort of feels that way.
You don't see it, and maybe we don't see. Maybe we're insulated. I don't know what the thing is. But it's kind of like the thing you brought up 3 or 4 podcasts back with talking about, Bill Hicks. Death, destruction, pain, like a chirp, 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 chirp. There's birds and the sun's shining and the grass is green. And like, and I wonder sometimes if it's not just that. Right. If it's literally, everybody trying to make us hate, everyone else. And I don't get it.
It's like you're saying, we need individualism to almost remind ourselves, like on a one-on-one basis. Yeah. It's like, this black person and me being a white person, him being a black person, the media might say we should be at odds because of the history and blah blah blah. Yeah. But on that day, I was just some guy that had a Segway, and he was interested in that. Yeah. And we related on that and had a great conversation about it. And then he went on and did what he was doing.
We've got to start focusing on the things that we have in common. We've got to start because that's, I was trying to explain to a friend of mine a while back that so much. Everyone's trying to engineer so much so quickly.
Yeah.
And we're just not. We don't have time to figure out what we have in common. You give me 5-10 minutes to talk to somebody, I can find at least 2 or 3 things that I have in common with this person that we can discuss.
Yeah.
I don't care where they're from or who they are or, who they're in love with or what they like to do with their spare time. There's got to be something in there that we can find that we have common ground on. And until we start focusing on what we have common ground on and stop focusing on all of the unbelievable amount of differences that we can find to nitpick the heck out of based on whatever system you want to base it on, we're never going to get this. We're never going to get this straight. And the problem is, I think there is a small group of people out there, and I think they are small, that doesn't want that to happen, and they're the most vocal,
right,
on both sides, the left and the right, and because they're the most vocal, they get the most airtime. You get the highest ratings. No one gets
like friendly stuff doesn't do well in the news. Yeah, that's why, and it makes sense. You don't cheat reality. Like that's why cats getting saved out of trees is like the bad. They don't lead with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not as interesting. The bad stuff is what's interesting, and it totally makes sense. I get it. I don't know what you can do about it, but it's like maybe it's a 24-hour news cycle or something has kind of made people lose perspective.
I think so too, and it's getting to a point where I'm having to start telling myself, well, that doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
Because if you let because I have an app for one of the local news channels around here, and it's like every 5 minutes, toddler found dead and such, somebody shoots so-and-so, and it's like coming up on my phone, and I've had to get to the point where I'm going to eventually I think I'm just going to eventually uninstall the app because it's a horrible app anyway.
I thought you were going to say that you had an app that like chooses what things affect you or what doesn't.
That would be amazing. It's like some sort of learning AI that's like, you don't care about this, Will. I'll take care of it for you. But no, it's all
blocked out. It's like all the stories are blocked out except for like 1 or 2.
Yeah, everything's redacted, and like you don't want to see this. Okay. Yeah. But it's just I'm having to get to a point where I'm just like, that's horrible for that family, and I'm really sorry that happened to that toddler. But that doesn't affect me, and I can't let it affect me. You know what I mean? So and so shot somewhere. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but that doesn't affect me, and I can't let it affect me because if you let it's getting to the point that if you pay attention to every little thing, and I don't think anything's gotten that much worse. I just think we're just more connected and aware of it.
Yeah.
To the point that if you continue to let yourself focus on that day in and day out, you're going to drive yourself nuts, and you're going to learn. You're going to come up with a dozen different reasons to hate people.
Yeah.
From whatever group they're part of.
Right.
And it's just
And I've sort of done that, and part of that's I guess maybe less informed because I don't watch the news as much or keep up on stories and stuff as much as I used to. But I don't know, maybe in a way I'm more informed because of it. Just depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Like as far as about specific things, I don't know as much about them.
Yeah, like I didn't know the full story behind the child labor camps on Mars.
And I mean, it was something that caught my attention on Facebook. I don't know. I'm just more interested in other things. Maybe because it's gotten so crazy, it's just made me want to and I've talked about this a bunch, but I'm just less interested in politics.
Yeah, well, I mean, it has gotten so crazy. You've got to unplug because, like I said a few minutes ago, it's just going to drive you nuts and depress the hell out of you if you keep trying to pay attention to everything that's going on. Everybody's like, oh, you got to pay attention. Do I?
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, what in my life, or the life of anyone I know at this point, has really changed since Trump got elected?
Yeah.
We've had a travel ban, which part of it got enacted, part of it didn't.
Yeah, and there was something. Obama had something similar, I think.
Well, he did. He had it was a visa thing that he did. It wasn't really a travel ban, but it was extra vetting on visas from those 6 or 7 countries.
Also, the way they name things also doesn't help. They call it the Muslim ban.
Yeah, and it's not. I'm again not a fan of Trump, but it's not a Muslim ban. Like it's literally a ban from 6 or 7 countries. And the thing is, probably Saudi Arabia should be on that list, but Trump didn't make the list. Obama did. You know what I mean? So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear Trump this or Trump that or anything else for that matter. It blows my mind. For the first 7 years, and I get it, but for the first 6 or 7 years of the last president's term, everything was the previous president's fault.
Yep.
Now we're 6 months into this guy, and everything's his fault. And I'm just like, no, dude, you guys cannot eat your cake and have it too. If 5 years into Obama's presidency, Bush was still the issue, then we can't throw everything on Trump at this point, whether I like the guy or not. We need a little consistency.
I feel bad for George Washington.
He had nobody to blame it on. It's King George. Everything is King George. Let the guy before me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Yeah, it just you cannot. And it's Fox, it's CNN, it's MSNBC, it's Drudge, it's HuffPo, it's all of them. You know, and at the end of the day, they're literally trying to get us to tear each other's throats out for ratings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I live day in and day out with people from multiple cultures that have multiple sexual preferences, multiple gender identities, multiple everything, and we're fine. You know, and it blows my multiple religions, and we're fine.
Yeah, because there's always things to relate to. I've always thought that I can always usually find something to talk about with anyone who is interested in things.
Yeah.
Like the people sometimes that occasionally run across people that they just don't seem very interested in anything. So it's kind of hard.
Those people you just have to kind of walk away from.
Yeah,
that's
what
like,
I know. That's what makes people interesting, really. If you think about it, is like, are they interested in stuff?
Yeah,
it might not be something you're that interested in, maybe, but it's like, if they're like, I don't know, I don't really care about NASCAR, but if I had met someone that like, you know, there was nothing else, they just loved NASCAR, like they knew everything about it. I'm like, well, here's my opportunity to learn some stuff about NASCAR. You know?
Yeah.
Like, so what kind of, you know, so how often they replace a tire? You know, there'd be some questions.
Something we could ask. Yeah.
So it's like, if they're really interested in something, then they're going to be interesting to some extent, you know. But I think, and most people have something that they're really interested in. So there's always something that you can relate to.
And there's got to be at least. I mean, with all of the diverse things in the world these days, there's got to be at least something you can connect on.
Yeah.
But you're right. There are those few people out there who are just like, wow, you literally have no interest at all. Like, how do you survive on a daily basis? Like, what do you do with your life? You know.
I know, it's like they're just like a stamped out. Like you're just like a bot in this simulation.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Like you're just that NPC that sits over there, aren't you? You're just window dressing. I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to interact with you. I'm gonna go over here and talk to this person with the question mark over their head. I think they'll be more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you broken? You're a broken sim, aren't you? I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah.
Somebody want to check that object over there? I think the pointer's broken on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've met people like that, though. You're just like, are you actually a person, or are you just like part of a simulation that I'm not supposed to know is actually happening?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand how you can go through life and not, like, you know, to catch on to something that you really like.
That's something you enjoy.
Cool, you know?
I don't know, man. Like even yeah. See, like, it is such an anomaly that it does come as like kind of strike you as a broken object in a simulation.
Or if they're only interested in things that are very like. You know, like someone who, you know, I don't mean to like single out conservatives, but it's just what pops in my head. Like someone, they only care about like sports, like their whatever, some local team, and beer, and like their car or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Titans, Bud Light, and my Charger over here.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
all I need. Yeah,
like, that gets kind of annoying. You know, it's like I feel like if you're being very real or being yourself, there's going to be something in that mix that doesn't fit. There's got to be.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, I mean, I've got some people that, I mean, and the only other side of the equation, you run people that all they want to talk about is video games, or, you know, so there are those out there, but yeah, there's something somewhere, somebody that you can connect with for the most part.
Like you like beer in your truck and like, you know, skiing.
Skiing. Okay, I've never skied before, but tell me what it's like. And like, let's skip the beer in the truck part. How do you like how do you feel about skiing? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Speaking of trucks, it's funny is occasionally someone will be like, "Hey man, nice truck." That sounds like there's nothing custom about it, just a regular like truck, you know. And it's just kind of always funny because it's like I don't really care about my truck. I mean, it's fine, you know.
Well, you're talking about that. Like I get so many compliments on this shirt.
Yeah.
Like it's the craziest thing ever. Like, oh, dude, I love your shirt. And what was funny is like, so, I guess 2 or 3 weeks ago, it had to be 2 weeks ago, we went down to Pride down here at the courthouse, and I had 3 or 4 people compliment my shirt. But because of the nature that where the event we're at, I was like, they can't be talking about my shirt. Like, they've got to be talking about somebody that's got like a political statement. And like the third person, I was like, thank you. And they were like, and I was like, they were talking about my shirt. So like, it was very bizarre. Like, I just did not expect to get my shirt commented on in that environment. It's Tron.
It's Tron. Okay, that's what
it's a Tron shirt. You know. No, I'm totally geeked out. I got a Tron shirt and a Firefly, overshirt on with it. But no, it was just very, because like I did not expect. I was expecting somebody with like a pithy statement or somebody. But no, they literally were talking. The first 2 or 3 times I was like, they're talking to you. I'm like, no, they're not talking to me. But the third person, I was like, oh, they are talking to me. You know? So it's just
funny.
But that's kind of a point. Like you can find something to talk about with everyone at some point. You just got to get outside yourself and make that connection.
Yeah, exactly. People are always, usually at least, more interesting than you realize.
Oh God, yes. Like, you know, waiting tables taught me that. You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
just everybody. There's something interesting about everyone. I mean,
Yeah.
there's with the rare exception of the broken Sims, there's something interesting about everyone out there.
Yeah, some people, like I was like this, I always had trouble like getting out of my shell, kind of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like eventually I learned, you know, basically just start talking about something.
Mm-hmm.
Once you, even if it just seems dumb, once you get talking about something, then you can always navigate it somewhere
You
different.
can, you know, and except like there are those rare occasions where you're just like, and there's the end of that subject, and there's
Yeah.
nothing else. I'm gonna go mingle. Have a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's happened to me a couple of times. You're like, so blah 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 blah, and then you guys are talking to the person about it, and then like 5 minutes later, it just kind of converges, and you're done with the conversation. And
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I'm gonna go find somebody else to talk to now.
Yeah.
But you know,
What if that happened right now?
as we speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Guys, have a good night. I'm gonna head home now. Yeah.
That used to happen on this podcast all the time when I was first getting used to it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we'd like, you'd be talking about something and you just hit a dead end, and I would actually have to have like
Keep
notes of like topics.
Yeah.
You know, be like, all right, so the next thing, you know, it's occasionally like you're always good, as like, but sometimes I'll have people on that they don't understand that it's like there's just like a flow of conversation.
Right.
You know, like Dad will do this to me sometimes. We'll be talking about something and everything is going well, and he'll just sort of like intentionally just like derail the conversation and be like, all right, so what else are we going to talk about? It's like, I thought we were talking about something.
We were just having there was a conversation. I was part of it. It was, it was you and me in an exchange of ideas. I know it was there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's just a flow, man. You know,
It's
it's
like,
like, you know.
we can make this happen, Dad. No. Oh, okay.
That's only on. Of course, he's never like that when we're out just talking.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just,
only when
that's
you're on the
radio.
show. Yeah. It's just like, this will be fun. Watch this. Ka-tink. And
Yeah.
just knock the train right off the tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fun. It is strange. You know, I take that's something I take for granted sometimes, but I try to remember how unique it is and how cool it is. But like working with my dad all the time,
Yeah.
you know, it's like it's crazy. It's like we're just like hanging out all the time. You know, basically,
No, that
it's
would
like
be
always
that
at
would
work.
be,
You
yeah.
know,
No, that actually probably would be kind of cool. Me and
interesting.
my male parental unit are not that close, so
Yeah.
I don't know I can't really imagine being around him 24.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice guy, and you know we're not like at odds with one another. I just
Yeah.
can't imagine what it would be like to do that.
and that's a story I hear a lot. You know, and
Yeah.
a lot of times people will tell me like, "Oh, that's so cool that you have such a good relationship with your dad," because a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I understand, you know, it's, you know, now that I have a kid, of course he's super young. He's not even a
Yeah.
year old yet, but I sort of can see how, you know, if you don't really invest in your family or whatever, you know, kids are a lot, you know, and
Yeah.
you got other things you're doing or whatever. You know, it's just worked out kind of cool where Dad was a teacher, so you know, he's used to kids, but then also he was off in the summer.
Yeah.
You know, and I
Yeah.
went to the same school where he taught at for a long time.
Oh, nice.
And so it's like we were always traveling together, and you know, like we were off at the same times, you know. And I ended up, you know, we had a few similar interests. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I grew up on a shooting range, so it's kind of hard to not be into
I
guns.
get some
you
sort
know.
of interest out of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. We argue occasionally, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to get to a point. My fiance and I are trying to get to a point where we can, you know, kind of have more time around because we haven't. I mean, she's got a little girl
Yeah.
who's about to be my stepdaughter, but I don't have any kids, you know.
Yeah.
And so we're hoping within the next few years to be able to get to a point where we could have a kid and have time to spend with them and kind
Yeah,
of
it's
have
cool.
that life. And so that's what we're working towards as well. So.
See, that's the perfect thing to me is when you can have a career that you love,
Mm-hmm.
gives you the right amount of free time, and then still have a family.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of perfect in a way.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
no, that's the dream, man.
Yeah,
that's
it really
like
is.
the American dream.
I mean, sometimes you're in a situation where it's like, you know, you feel like you have to choose between like, you know, don't want to live the whole, you know, family life thing and work, you know, a square 9 to 5. Not that like working from those hours is a problem. Just that's always the, you know, when you say I'd working a 9 to 5, you know what I mean. Just
the cookie cutter job.
yeah, exactly. You could have an awesome job that's like from 9
Yeah,
to 5.
I mean, I like the job I have. It's not 9 to 5. It varies randomly.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a good job. I like the company I work for. I got good people that I work with. And,
Yeah.
you know, I got a good team and good people above me. But yeah, I mean, I don't want, you know, my dream is to walk into my boss's office in about 4 or 5 years and be like, hey, thank you very much for the opportunity you afforded me, but I'm going to go over here and do this thing now because I'm successful at it, you know.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So
And it's nice to be like, I think sometimes people feel like they have to choose between like having like that kind of like a very square life with a family, or being like staying single and free and just like working like crazy, and that whole thing. And it doesn't have to be that way necessarily. You can have
I mean that's a great thing. It can be any mix or match of whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's like I said, we're working on 3 or 4 different things coming in on different levels, because I eventually want to get out of the 9 to 5 grind.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah,
sure.
It does.
Yeah.
And I just got back into it 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, I waited tables for 9 years when I was going to school and doing some other stuff.
Because that's one of the least 9 to 5 kind of jobs.
Yeah, but it's I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd do it again if it was that or starve, but it would have to come down to something like that or starve. Like, it's just not.
I know a lot of people do it because you make good money for the amount of time that you work.
Sometimes you do.
It's hard work.
It is. It's very hard work. You know what I mean? So, tip your servers.
Yeah.
It's very hard work.
That's one thing. Of course, part of, my wife is a server. We've been together a long time. But even before then, that's one way I've always, like, tried to, like, give back. You know what I mean? Because it's like, at least, maybe they're going to spend it on booze, whatever. But it's like, this is someone who is working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like they're doing what they're supposed to do. It's like I just try to contribute, And
see, and I used to be one of those people that I was like, bad service, and I'm not even that person anymore. I'm just like, here's 20%. Like, when I go out to eat dinner, I just include 20% in it for the tip. And the reason I do that is I figure, okay, so here's the deal: if this person's consistently bad, then they're eventually just going to quit anyway, because they're not going to make any money. If they're usually a good server, and this was just a bad table for them, then there's at least been 1 or 2 tables where they've been a really good server and still gotten a crappy tip. So you know what? Here's 20%. It's just going to even out. I mean, and at the end of the day, I didn't have to get my own drink.
Yeah.
I didn't have to cook my food. I didn't have to clear my table. Didn't have to wash my dishes. I didn't have to do anything but sit my fat butt in a chair and tell you, I would like such and such. So you know what? That's worth 20% of the price to me.
Yeah.
And if it's not worth 20% of the price to you, go to McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's a McDonald's, there's a Burger King, there's an Arby's, there's a Kroger. There's a and I'm gonna get on a soapbox, but it's just
it's
a lot of really hardworking people wait tables.
Right.
And a lot of them are working their way through school. A lot of them are doing a lot of things, and just to not tip.
Yeah.
Because of whatever.
It's usually people who are very aggressive about trying to get somewhere in life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In Nashville,
it's to support.
Yeah. In Nashville, 90% of them are trying to become musicians, in one shape, form, or another, and they're out there doing it.
Yeah.
They're working that job so they can be free to go to auditions or go, do this or go to band practice or whatever they need to do to try and get their life where they want it.
It's like that stupid thing that was floating around the internet where people would take like $5 bills, which sounds like a not very good tip.
No, if you put $5, the restaurant I worked at, if you put $5 bills down, and I walked back and all of a sudden there was one missing, you would literally, like, the service you would get would have you talking to my manager.
Yeah.
Because at the point where I start realizing that you put $5 down on the table for what's probably going to be a $50 or $60 meal to begin with.
Yeah.
And now you want to tease me by taking it away. Yeah. No, man, we're done. We're done at that point.
That is just shameful.
I probably would give you just enough service to keep you from going to my manager.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to, break my back, first of all, for $5 on what's probably going to be a $75 or $80 meal.
Yeah.
And to have you, taunt me with it. No,
yeah,
I got some respect. I got too much respect for myself for that crap. I'm sorry.
That made me mad when I first saw that stuff on the internet. Because, like, I always, like you, basically my tips range from, like, average to good to great. Yeah. Basically. I don't ever really, like, there's been a couple of times I can think of where I've given someone what you might even consider a bad tip. But it was something just ridiculous. Like, there was this one guy that was, like, he was being like rude to my wife and stuff, and talking down to her, and it was just horrible, just all around, just like I don't know. I mean,
there are rare exceptions,
and I still gave him like 10%. I mean,
it just and the whole thing. Well, if we can't, if that's how I get rid of bad service. If you have a problem with the service, go talk to the manager.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like if you think that the service was, and I'll be honest with you, if you tip well and talk to the manager, that's actually going to carry weight from somebody that's been in the industry before. If I tell the manager I tipped him 20% because that's what I do, but let me tell you, how my experience went, and you might just want to coach this guy on a couple of things.
Yeah,
that gets a manager's attention quickly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because he'll come up and be like, "Hey, dude, that guy that just tipped you 20%, maybe you might want to think about doing this, this, and this.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So you just continue to tip, but grab a manager, let them know what's going on. Say, hey, I just want to let you know what's going on in your establishment. Like this guy over here, like he might have some potential, but right now he's making this mistake, and this mistake.
Yeah. Usually, one thing I like to do is kind of a creature of habit too, but I like to go to restaurants that I go to a lot and tip well. Go to the same one.
Oh God, yeah.
It's nice to go into the same restaurant often and always tipping well. It's kind of a nice feeling because they're always nicer to you, and you'll notice you end up getting the same server a lot of times.
Yeah, and you get better service.
Yeah,
so like no, this guy takes care of us. I'm going to take care of him.
Yeah.
By the way, that's the basis of capitalism.
Yeah, and it feels good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It does.
It doesn't feel like I'm getting ripped off by paying more than I have to. It feels good. I go into a place, I feel like they're like, oh yeah. Especially I know that people always will. A lot of times people will remember me because I'm tall.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, oh yeah, there's that guy. He tips well. Let's make sure treat him right.
Yeah.
It's a nice feeling.
Yeah, and I've always been if you can't tip, then that's what McDonald's was for.
Yeah, don't go out to eat.
Don't go out to eat.
That's part of it. That's part of the expense.
Part of it's literally add 20% on top of it because that's what you owe that server walking through the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they should pay more. Well, then you're just going to pay for more for the food. So it's really there's no way around it. Like you pay what you pay for the food because that server makes $2.17.
And I usually do 25. A lot of times. It's like
I'll do 25 or 30 if the service is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I usually average a 20.
Yeah, it's fun. Sometimes it is fun to just especially on vacation. Usually when I'm on vacation,
you just be like, yeah. I've saved up for this. Here's an extra 5%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Here you are, peasant. Enjoy. Get yourself an extra beer tonight. Yeah.
And you imagine like the server come back to the table and it's just gold shining on their face, just like
Well, that's like those guys that like every once in a while you hear about some Waffle House waitress that gets like a $1,500 tip or a $10,000 tip or something.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy. In Nashville, I wonder. Like I've thought of this too. I bet you celebrities probably feel a lot of pressure to tip well. Not necessarily a bad thing, I guess, but
no.
But if you're a celebrity, you can't just go out to eat and not tip well.
Some of them do, some of them don't. I mean, I've had a couple that didn't tip well, and I've had a couple that tipped, right at what they were supposed to tip. And if you're a celebrity and you tip 20%, then that's whatever. I don't hold you to a higher standard than anybody else. But if you're a celebrity and you tip 5%, you're scum. That's just how I feel about it.
I would think if you're a celebrity and people like you. You're known to have money because you're a musician or you're like the governor or something like that. To me, I would feel like unless the service was just horrific, anything less than a 50% tip would almost be kind of like disrespectful.
Yeah,
almost. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, as long as you tip the standard, which right now I think is 18 to 20%, I'm not gonna hold it against you. You know what I mean? Like if you want to tip great, tip high, that's great. I'm not, but I'm like, well, they've got millions of dollars and they couldn't leave me. I don't. That's not the job I'm doing. Doesn't rate that level of pay. The job I'm doing rates 20% of whatever you ordered. So
that's true.
Give me 20% of whatever you ordered, so long as long as the service is worth it, and let's move on with our lives. You know what I mean? Like I don't need charity because you've made it big. But I do need some respect for what I do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way I see it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll tell you what's even worse, almost to me, than not tipping well is people that treat servers like they're like servants.
Mm-hmm. That was one of my things. I was like, when I waited table, I was like, I'm a server, not a servant.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I'm not. I don't. Yeah. Like, and I've gotten away with it a couple of times. I don't know how, but like I had a guy one day that he was a snapper and a glass rattler.
Oh man!
And like. I walked. He rattled his glass at me, and I was like, "Oh, great!" So I walked over to the table, and like, right as I walked up to the table, he looks at his wife and he goes, "What was this again?" I went, "That's a glass. We put liquid in it, so you don't have to slurp it out of your hands." And like he looked, and you could tell like he was just livid.
Yeah.
But the rest of the table burst into laughter, and so like he was caught between like. Wanting to be mad at me for being a smartass and literally realizing that the rest of the table thought it was hilarious and there wasn't much he could say without coming off as a complete utter ass in front of his wife and all of her family. So, but because
that had to feel good.
It felt so good. It felt so good.
Yeah. I saw a guy. I was at the Melting Pot, which is a pretty nice establishment. And there was a guy in I think he was the booth behind us or very close, and actually was on like a date and whistled at the waiter.
Wow.
like a loud fingers in the mouth whistle. Yeah.
I'm sure that was.
It like almost startled me. That's how loud it was.
Magical for his date. Like,
Oh man.
watch her slide
Yeah.
slowly.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's just if you don't, there's some he's a food critic. But he's one of those people like, if you don't treat servers well, then I have literally no use for you. He's like that level of like,
Yeah.
if you don't tip, if you treat them like crap, I have literally zero use.
It is one of those things where it kind of tells you a lot about someone.
Is it Anthony Bourdain? Is that a?
That is a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a guy. Yeah, it's a food guy.
I think it's Anthony
Yeah.
Bourdain. I think that's who it is.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
For some reason, when you said that, I was thinking of that one. What's the dude with the visor hat and the guy?
Oh, Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
No, it's not him. I know
Yeah.
Guy Fieri. It's not Guy Fieri. It's not Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
And it's not Emeril Lagasse.
I'll tell you what, Gordon Ramsay has some great restaurants in
Really?
Vegas. I always try to eat at his restaurants when they're not just like insanely long wait.
packed,
you know? Yeah.
I mean, the man's good at what he does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never got into like cooking reality shows.
No, he's not Hell's Kitchen and all that. I watched a couple of the Kitchen Rescues or whatever.
Okay. I think I saw one of those on at I was waiting on my car or something.
I think I watched. We were doing a thing at Hard Rock one time, and then it was some sort of training or something we were doing, and we'd run out of training stuff to do, and so they like showed us episodes of Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy moly! Yeah, some of those you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's funny how like so many people call themselves foodies now.
Yeah.
That's like a new thing, Well, I mean, I like the culture that's popped up around. Like, it seems like lately there's more of an emphasis on like local places and places that are more interesting, and then, there's more like non-generic restaurants.
Yeah.
It seems like than there used to be, and I love that.
Yeah.
But there are so many people that are just like, oh, we're foodies,
No, you're not. Like you that's Hamburger Helper, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But it's kind of like saying you're like a music fan or something.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm like,
that was
we're about
weird.
to go back. We've been flirting with it on and off about trying to eat better, but we're about to go back into it hardcore, literally starting tomorrow. And I am a foodie. I love cooking.
Yeah.
And I do love eating healthy, and I do love trying to make things that are traditionally horribly unhealthy, healthy. And enjoying. Like I do a like an Alfredo sauce out of cottage cheese rather than heavy cream.
Oh yeah, I think you told me about that.
Yeah,
That
and
sounds awesome.
Yeah, and you can and there's different things you can do, and I enjoy doing that. I'm like, how can I take this horrible dish over here and make it clean, or make it paleo, or make it something that I can eat without feeling horrible?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot, and I do enjoy cooking. I'm one of those people that's just
I do too. Yeah.
like I've got some hamburger and some vegetables and a ton of spices. Let's see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah.
And I think until you reach that point, you're not really a foodie. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I cooked this the other night. Well, great. Where'd you get that at? Better Homes and Gardens?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you're not out there actually trying and experimenting, then I think you're just
It's like, I've got this pasta meal. It's really nothing that special, but for some reason I like it. I call it the Oregon Trail, and the reason for that is
will you die of dysentery?
hopefully not.
Every time anybody mentions Oregon Trail, you have died of dysentery. Sorry, I couldn't resist it, dude.
Yeah, hopefully not. We'll see, I guess. But that's true. You do always die of dysentery.
Yeah. Every time on Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Or exposure. Dysentery exposure.
Or break an axle.
Yeah. And then you die of exposure.
Yeah. But I call it the Oregon Trail because it's pasta. I use wagon wheel pasta.
Nice.
And I use buffalo meat in it.
Oh, now see, I do like buffalo.
It's good.
I do. I like bison.
It's awful greasy, but it's good.
Really? Where are you getting greasy bison?
Really? It's always greasy to me. It's
Really?
usually greasier than beef.
I don't think I've never. That's not been my experience. But yeah, I mean, I get the
Maybe because of the ground,
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I've always experienced bison to be leaner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird. Is it bison or is it like beefalo?
No, it's beef. Yeah. I mean, it's
It's
bison.
bison?
Yeah, ground.
Huh.
Yeah, ground bison.
I've always gotten.
You get it ground though?
Yeah.
Okay, so I get like the little square packs. So you can get it like Kroger or
Yeah.
whatever.
I've gotten those, and then I've gotten the ones from.
You know what it could be? It could be because I usually will use turkey when I
what? That might be what
and
it
I'm
is.
thinking,
Then.
and I'm just forgetting that beef is actually probably maybe greasier. Because I rarely actually put beef and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
I always do turkey.
Okay, yeah, turkey's
unless I do
really lean.
Yeah, unless I do buffalo, and I guess that may be where I'm thinking.
That it's greasy. Yeah, it would definitely be greasier than turkey. I would not argue that.
Oh yeah, it
least.
is for sure. Yeah,
But yeah, but yeah, I was just like, no, it's not really that great. My experience has been that it's not that much. It's not any. It's less greasy than actual beef.
Yeah. Okay, I guess.
But yeah,
it
I've gotten
is.
it from Kroger and I've gotten it from Whole Foods and a
I
couple
like
other
it.
places.
You ever had a buffalo steak?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's
Or
good.
the buffalo. They have the buffalo. You can get the buffalo tips, like the buffalo like steak tips, like you would make like stew out of.
Oh yeah,
They've
yeah,
got
yeah,
that
that's
over.
right, yeah.
They've got that over at Whole Foods too.
Okay.
Yeah, really good.
I when I was down in Atlanta for the NRA show, we ate at Buffalo. What's that nice restaurant with the buffalo? on it?
Montana Joe.
Montana Grill. That's
Montana
it.
Grill, yeah.
It's Ted Turner's place.
Yeah.
And I got a buffalo steak there, and it was just amazing.
Which is weird that something that good is run by Ted Turner.
Yeah. It's
like,
Ted.
dude, you missed your calling with the rest of the crap. This is where you needed to be. You needed to invest
really.
all your money into buffalo steak, and you would have been fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I've never eaten at the Montana Grill, but I have had buffalo steak before. So
Yeah, they're
It's
good.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a foodie, but I do like checking out different restaurants and stuff like that. When I'm going through it like that's part of the fun of traveling.
Oh yeah.
It's trying local stuff or whatever. Like when I was in South Carolina to Hilton Head on vacation, like around 4 weeks ago, something like that. We went to all these different. We tried to find like very local seafood places.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get like some shrimp, that's just been pulled out of the water.
Yeah.
Locally, that's so good.
Oh God, yeah. No, I used to live in North Carolina. And
Oh,
the seafood
man.
out there was just ridiculously good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple places here in Nashville that do it halfway decent, local places. Not
Yeah,
like
there's one in East Nashville called Battered and Fried. That's pretty good.
battered and fried.
Yeah, sorry, I know you're trying to go on a diet.
No,
so-
dude. Have you had their? It's not that I'm plugging this place in the least, but have you ever had their clam chowder?
No, I have
Do
not.
you like clam chowder?
No, I think I've had it before, but I'm not like.
Dude, this is like clam chowder pudding. Like I'm not that it's sweet or anything, but like the consistency, you can literally like stick your freaking spoon in it and it'll stay.
Man.
Like it is the thickest. Like it's so good,
Wow.
so good.
I usually get their like mix of like all the fish and the crab.
Oh yeah, they're like that seafood platter that they've got. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we went there. Oddly enough, we went there after Pride, and
Yeah.
it was really funny because my stepdaughter's pescatarian.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
It's where you eat. The only meat you eat is fish.
Okay.
But she's pescatarian because of sushi. Like she won't give up sushi, so she can't be vegetarian because she won't give up sushi.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I'm a vegetarian except for steak. I love steak, but with her it's
Yeah.
sushi. But we went. I was like, okay, so we got to have someplace we can all eat, And so I went to. We went to Battered and Fried, and I'll be darned if she didn't get a vegetarian sushi roll. And I'm like, really? I came to a seafood restaurant, so you would have a plethora of things to order, and you get the vegetarian sushi roll? Like, really? So, I mean, I enjoyed it. I had fish and chips and a big bowl and a little bowl of clam chowder, and my fiance had some bacon wrapped scallops,
Yeah.
which I've got to make tomorrow.
Those are good.
Oh God, they're so good.
Yeah, I get those sometimes at the grocery store. It's frustrating. It's like food is so good, but it makes you fat.
Yeah,
yeah. It's
well, the
very
scallops
frustrating.
aren't so bad. I mean, they're still fish,
No.
and fish is actually not bad for anyone to eat.
Yeah.
It's just not only being able to, because I do the cooking at my house. Like that's just the way it is. I'm the cook, and I love to cook, and I love to make things, and I love to do things with pork and beef and chicken and all this stuff. And now I've got this pescatarian in the house, and I'm just like. So like every other weekend when she's elsewhere, we like ribs and steak and pork chops and like it literally is just like a carnivore's. It's you go to bed with meat sweats because you're trying to shove all of the protein in you can before she returns Sunday night. And you got to go back to fish.
Go to one of those Brazilian steakhouses.
Yeah, exactly, and just gorge yourself. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny with like basically like the way my diet plan goes, at least I'm sort of working on is like I'll eat healthy for as long as I can stand it, and then I'm like, I gotta eat the food I like, and it's like, I think maybe I'm working at it enough to where I'm getting to where I'm eating healthier for longer, periods of time. It's just tough, man, because it's like the food that humans are supposed to eat just doesn't taste as good as the other stuff.
Well, it does. I mean, the thing is that. The food that you were supposed to eat now, I mean, if you think about it, what really tastes good are all the calorie dense, the more calorie dense something is, the better it tastes to us.
Right.
And if you think about evolution over time, that makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? Because it's
you don't know where your next meal is coming from?
Yeah, I mean, we're evolved from scavengers, So I mean, literally, yeah, we can eat anything. Whereas omnivorous as they come, obviously with like the exceptions of cyanide and hemlock and things like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if most everything's edible to a human being, but the most calorie rich and calorie dense stuff is the stuff that your body's going to crave because that's going to last it as long as it can. It's just that we have the luxury of living in a place where 9 times out of 10 we don't have to worry. 90% of us don't have to worry about where our next meal is coming from, and so we end up.
Yeah, that's what's it's interesting is about how our body has evolved to like have certain things and abilities that don't really like apply to the modern world because it's changed so much.
Except for where you live. Like I was coming over today. This is crazy. So I'm coming over here today, and of course I'm running behind. We were supposed to start this at 4. Sorry, folks. And I'm like, well, I've got to get some food before I get over there. And so like I took a right instead of a left and headed over into the little town over here.
Yeah.
And I'm literally had to drive for like 3 miles down the main drag, and I'm like, is there not a Taco Bell or an Arby's or where is a fast food? Should I have taken a right? Like, and literally I found a Taco Bell and pulled in and got some food and then came over. But it was literally, I was just like, what the? Do they not have fast food in this town?
I'll tell you about after we get off the air, so I don't give away my location. I'll tell you about a place you got to try.
Okay, fair enough.
Sure,
yeah.
There's a few good places around here, but oh yeah, I was gonna say it's weird that like that's still part of our in our DNA, I guess. Yeah. Based on evolution to like we want to eat the steaks and stuff like that because it lasts us a long time. Yeah. It's kind of interesting to me how our technology has outgrown our like physiological evolutionary tendencies. Is that
because those take with the exception of like dire situations where possibly punctuated equilibrium takes over, like and this is not one of those situations where punctuated equilibrium would take over. It takes a long time for something, because it has to be something that in order for something to get filtered out of the gene pool, it has to be something that affects you before you reach breeding age. Like literally it has to be something that affects you before, or affects the race before the majority of that race can procreate
consistently enough.
Like
I thought about this with self-defense too. This is kind of interesting how our bodies do the exact wrong thing that it should do, especially like for example, like our bodies don't understand guns. Yeah, they don't know what guns are. Really, it would be better for our survival if we didn't lose our fine motor skills. Yeah, if we, because we have weapons in modern society that we defend ourselves with, but our bodies are thinking like, no, we're gonna club each other with our fists. Yeah, exactly. So we don't need fine motor skills. We just need strength and energy.
Yeah, exactly.
And like people like that are famous for being able to survive gunfights, like Wild Bill Hickok, were people who, in some ways, were less apt to survive. Because they were able to maintain their fine motor skills and stay calm in that type of environment. It's weird how it's like backwards.
Yeah,
like that,
you just your adrenaline dumps. You're like, yeah. Well, I mean, because in back in the day, several thousand years ago, I mean, that's what it was. It was like you literally needed all of the strength and speed you could get.
If you got a fist fight, it's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. But and if you think about it, that really we've only had decent firearms for 150, 200 years at most. Yeah. Like good, solid,
right, yeah.
This what you would consider a firearm.
Yeah. Repeaters, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It hasn't really been that long. It would be, it'll be another 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 years before we evolve into anything that remotely resembles, something that's adapted to use a gun.
But then we'll have mind bullets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Kill each other with our mind. We don't have to worry about it anymore. Yeah. But yeah, evolution's an interesting, like the way it works, and the fact that it does take so bloody long.
Yeah.
For anything, except for like the situations where something comes along and kills off 90% of the population, except for this 10% over here that had the ability to survive. And those are the folks that move forward, and then there's a pretty rapid evolution at that point.
Yeah, but, and that is interesting. It's like where you have this like ceiling. It'd be like if there was some kind of bacteria that was introduced, and it killed everyone off except for like 2% of the population that was immune to it for some reason, and maybe there's some other characteristic of those people that
Well, that happened 30 or 40,000 years ago. Like we know that for a fact that a large portion of the population died off about 30 to 50,000 years ago. It's called the genetic bottleneck.
Does that have anything to do with like the missing? Is there any missing link theories involved with that?
No, because this would be Homo sapiens sapien. Like this would be modern humans.
Okay.
Modern humans have been modern humans for the last 100,000 years or so, and so it would literally be modern humans. But literally something 30, 40, 50,000 years ago, we went down to about, I want to say it's like 30,000 to 40,000 people on the planet.
Wow, that's
like,
crazy.
And we know before then that there were lots more than that.
Yeah.
But it literally just collapsed into this very, very narrow group of people that survived, and those are pretty much the progenitors of the entire modern.
That's like 40,000 people. That's like you could be wandering around and never run into anybody for
Oh
a
God,
long
no,
time.
yeah. Like that's what maybe the population of Lebanon, Tennessee.
Yeah,
If
that's
that,
crazy.
maybe twice the population of Lebanon, Tennessee. Like it's on the entire planet, man.
Yeah,
know.
that's crazy.
Like 40,000 people in Nashville, you could wander around for 3 or 4 days and not bump into someone.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And that's just
true.
in the city of Nashville. Just think
yeah,
about it. Yeah.
yeah. That's crazy.
So maybe it was a prehistoric zombie apocalypse. Who knows?
It could be. Yeah,
But,
I'm sure zombies are definitely real.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. At least they were 30, 40,000 years ago.
What do you think about because people try to figure out, the whole missing link thing. Our brains grew, and there seemed to be like a gap, between, man today and then fossils and things that we found or whatever. I keep coming back to the possibility that there was some kind of a superior race, and not in a racist way. I mean, like from another planet.
Yeah.
There was some kind
Species.
of yeah, exactly.
Species.
Yeah. That came from a superior species, came from another planet, and either bred with us and kind of accidentally created us or caused a missing link, or was it totally intentional, or something like that.
There's no. I mean, we have enough. There's not that many missing links left. But I'm not completely opposed to that concept.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I have no problem with the concept that we may be seeded or we may be some sort of experiment.
A hybrid of some kind.
Yeah. I mean, there's one theory out there that says that the human species is a cross between gorillas and pigs. Like they apparently have found, I don't know for sure, I didn't get that deep into the theory, but apparently there have been like gorilla pig hybrids that are very similar to humans. Like it's very, I don't know. Yeah, but
I'm gonna have nightmares.
thank you. There's your nightmare fuel, folks. Enjoy that one. Yeah, but no,
Interesting.
apparently I Google it. I don't know. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying I believe it. I'm not even saying I've dug deep enough into it to be like, no, this was a plausible theory.
Yeah.
But no, there was
Alf kind of popped in my head when you said that.
yeah, that could totally be. Nope, there it is. That could totally be the other side of the equation.
Yeah.
But apparently, yeah, there's been some sort of like hybridization of the two, that they found them or something. I don't know. And I'm not even sure that the source I read that in was anything remotely reputable. But I've read it in 2 or 3 different places. But that doesn't mean that it didn't start somewhere and then branch out, whatever. But yeah, I mean, there's work being done on it from what I understand.
Yeah.
Very bizarre stuff.
Yeah, it is interesting, and also the concept of that humans on Earth were civilized. Well, not civilized. That's not the right word. Technological before.
Yeah.
And then
Now
it was
that one
lost.
is kind of strange to me because you have these things called like out of place artifacts.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen those or not.
No,
but
is
it's
that
like,
sort of like the ancient alien stuff? Was like they find something that doesn't seem to fit with what we know about the time period?
Yeah, like bolts. Like there was one where a woman found like a silver chain inside a lump of coal.
Or like that golden airplane that could fly.
That was designed to fly. There've been, I mean, if you Google out of place artifacts, you'll run into them. There's a lot of them out there, you know, and so it's possible that we did have some sort of technological, advancement, which means that, if we got that technologically advanced and left the planet, just we're the descendants of the people that didn't go,
Right.
We're the descendants of the folks that couldn't figure out how to make it work, I don't know, but it's, but no, there are some weird ones like, the Babylon battery.
I don't know if I've heard of that.
It's a battery that they found. Was this the battery?
Double or triple A?
No, I may be confusing the two, but there was one. No, this was more like a resistor or a diode. Okay. But they literally found what appears to be like a resistor or a diode inside a lump of rock, like sedimentary rock.
Yeah.
Like if they X-rayed it, and like it literally looks like a resistor or a diode, and it's in there. And then of course the batteries and the there's a lot of weird things that don't add up. For some reason, what was really weird. Excuse me. We were watching a thing the other, because I do watch Ancient Aliens. I think it's fun.
It's an entertaining show.
It is incredibly entertaining. I'm not.
And I sort of treat it like Alex Jones. it's fun to watch and interesting to hear some of the stuff, and it puts you onto something. If something really catches your attention, then you look into it more, and
And some of the stuff that is on there, you're like, well, that is interesting. Like some of the stuff they bring about the Mayan imagery and like some carvings that show what appear to be like light bulbs and different things like that. And so there's some really interesting stuff on there. But they did one a while back as blame it. Sorry guys. There's one where they the last one I watched. And then what's really weird is like recently, because the last one I watched, because I have the Xfinity TV thing with all the streaming stuff, and so you can watch it whenever. And so this one was probably from like 3 or 4 months ago. But I watched it, and they were talking about this like a piece of aluminum that apparently was found in like Romania or somewhere like that. And it literally is a piece of aluminum, but it's the patina on it, which you can't fake a patina. Like patinas are patinas. You cannot. There's nothing you can do to a piece of metal to fake a patina.
Okay.
And the patina says that it's 10,000, 15,000 years old, like the level of patina on it. But it's aluminum. It's a form of aluminum. Like humans haven't worked with aluminum.
Yeah.
I mean, the early first part of the century, like aluminum was actually a big, like they made jewelry out of aluminum in the 1930s because it was such a space age metal that everybody wanted to wear because it was so cool.
Yeah.
And so. Since it seems that's 10 or 15,000 years old, that's literally made out of aluminum.
Yeah, if they
that
just
does not fit.
Yeah, like how could they have dug that up with rocks and sticks? Melted it down.
And aluminum's just not something that you just melt down. Like aluminum's an alloy. Like you have to have some form of something to alloy it with. And so, that's my understanding. Like, because everything is an aluminum alloy. Like, I don't think you can actually do things out of pure aluminum. They have to be alloyed. What we refer to as aluminum is actually an alum alloy.
Yeah.
And like the alloy technology didn't exist, 15,000 years ago, and they found what they literally believe to be orichalcum. That's a combination of zinc and copper.
Yeah.
Which zinc is incredibly difficult to mine and incredibly difficult to manufacture, and we found it on the floor of the Mediterranean Ocean or the Mediterranean Sea.
Yeah.
But there it is, and that was zinc and copper linked in together. Which is a big thing as far as we know. According to can't remember who wrote about it, but was it Plato, Aristotle, whoever it is that wrote about Atlantis.
Okay.
One of the temples in Atlantis was coated in orichalcum, and for the longest time we thought, it's just a myth. It's just a myth. It's just this. At least the metal.
Right.
But they found it. Like that's literally like based on the components of what he said orichalcum was. It was a combination of zinc and copper. They found these bars on the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea that are.
That's spooky.
That are zinc and copper.
I just wonder too, doubling up on conspiracy theories, like if. Scientists did discover Atlantis or some kind of ancient city like that was technological or whatever. Like, would the government even let us know about it?
I don't. At this point, I think we've reached a layer where, unless it's, I don't think you could keep that a secret.
Or is it already? Has it been known for a long time? Is it a secret?
Yeah. Well, I don't even think at this point it could be you could keep something like that a secret. It's like the Baltic Sea anomaly.
What's that?
It's It looks like, you do when you look at the what's not ultrasounds, but I guess it is ultrasound. It's the way they map out sonar. Thank you. Wow, man, I am exhausted. When you look at the sonar from it, it looks like a crashed spaceship. Like it's the craziest thing. You Google it, when we're done here.
It's called the what? The
Baltic Sea anomaly.
The Baltic Sea anomaly. Okay.
And it looks like, from best we can tell, it literally looks like a crashed spaceship or some sort of like man-made building or something like that on the bottom of the Baltic Sea. And you're just like, where did the hell did this come from? And it's right there. It's the Baltic Sea anomaly.
Can we not get to it? Is it too deep or something?
They're still trying to figure, like, there's several. Apparently, it's going to be quite a thing to get to. It's pretty far down. Like it's under a lot of water. And so I think last I heard they were still trying to fund. And it's in like the government doesn't want people down there, and it's like a whole thing.
Weird.
Yeah.
I know there's stuff I've read about the government closing off certain things. Like there was something in the Grand Canyon that
I have heard that before
too.
They
closed off.
Like it had a bunch of Egyptian stuff in it. And yeah, I've heard that before too.
I know even the pyramids themselves in Egypt, like the Egyptian government is really weird about certain people coming in there and taking certain photos, and and stuff like that. Like I know I've heard, I think Graham Hancock, I believe, they talk about how, they like it because some of them theorize that the pyramids are much older than the traditional.
I've heard that before too. And so I've heard the Sphinxes
that really
well.
bothers them.
Yeah, I've heard the Sphinx is like way older than even the pyramids.
Yeah, there's some theory that the face
older.
on it is not even the original. That it looks like something else, but the people that inhabited that area were
Changed
like,
it. Yeah.
we don't want this other guy's face on here. We want it to look like us.
Yeah, no, I've heard that before too. Yeah, and I think we were talking about that before because I was talking about we at least used to have a nose before.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
shot the nose off of it. But I've heard that that's why like it's so oddly shaped is because they re-sculpted part of it prior to that. Yeah, no, I've heard that. Yeah, and there's like water damage to it and watermarks on it when
What if it was just a cat? And they were like so self-absorbed. They were like, "We want this to be our face."
Originally, it was just a lion.
Yeah,
It would be. Yeah.
Oh man, what if it's the MGM logo? They're like time travelers.
Yeah, I was gonna say the time travel loop.
That's something else that's interesting too. Like we'll probably I'll take some questions here in a minute, but or on the conspiracy theory thing. This is something I thought of. This is maybe far-fetched, but this is something that hit me the other day, and I had one of those like whoa kind of moments, So like the Coors Light logo, there's a couple of different ones.
Okay.
Some of them it's like legitimately like mountains, and it's got the little, it looks like mountains. But they're kind of more a simple one, of where it's like just kind of like the two triangles basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think so, yeah.
If you look at it closely, and I've been to the Rocky Mountains, that's not the Rocky Mountains. That's the Giza Plateau pyramids.
Huh.
Like if you look at the size of the two triangles in relationship to each other, that's the two biggest pyramids of those three, and the way that they're shaped, you can like look at the Coors Light logo, the plain one, the basic one. Now, like I said, there's one that does look like mountains, and you pull up it's the Giza Plateau is what it's called, right? Yeah. Pull up some pictures of that from some different angles. It's like, bam, that's what it is.
Huh.
And if you notice a lot of logos, there's a ton of like Egyptian stuff, and other things like that in logos. And it's like, what's that all about? Is there some kind of secret club, that I wasn't invited to?
That none of us are invited to. There's like 6 people in the world that are in it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I mean, as long as they do a good job.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as they're okay and then they don't do much that I need to go to war over, that's fine.
Right.
They can do what they need to do. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
But I just want to know. It's like how famous or successful do you have to be to find out about it? That's what I want to know.
Well, I think you have to be at least like above George Clooney level. I think too. Yeah. So we're still got a ways to go.
Yeah. How frustrating would it be though if you got to like, you were like super famous, a huge movie, there's some phenomenon, you became this big actor, and you're just like, oh man, any day now they're gonna come, they're gonna call me in, and tell me, and then it's like, and then you talk to like Michael Jordan or something, like, so when am I gonna get to get in on this? And he's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, get in on what? There's
like,
nothing out there.
No, it's all they just do that for people so they think that they have power. There's nothing.
It's not really a thing.
There's nothing. Trust me. I don't know. Probably not though.
No. Well, I mean, that's like what's crazy is like all the people getting upset over like all these rappers and stuff that are supposedly like flashing the Illuminati symbol, whatever the heck that is. Like,
I do think that there is something going on. I think there's a lot of people who act like they know what it is,
right?
That don't, because they're in a position that people might think that they would.
Yeah.
But I think there is something. I do feel. I just feel it in my bones.
There may be. I mean, like I said, there very well may be. But as long as they're doing the right thing, that's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as long as they're. I mean, there's some stuff out there that I don't even think is very under the table that I disagree with.
Yeah.
Like there are literally forces working to undo what we've built here, and I do get that. I'm not
right.
naive enough to think that that's not the case. I just don't know that it reaches the level of like the conspiracy theories that I've heard growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Freemasons this and the Shriners that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean the Freemason thing, people love to blame them, but the reality is like the Freemasons kind of built this country, and that's why you see a lot of their imagery everywhere, because they came up like the entire court system is based off of their system, and all this kind of stuff. So that's where a lot of that comes from.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense that they would be kind of ingrained into what's going on.
I mean, if you had some society and you started a new country, you're probably going to want it to look like your society.
Like, you're pretty fond of what you've built, and this seems to be working. Let's see what we can do with it on a larger scale. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, I'm going to pull up. If you guys want to ask some questions, I'm going to pull up the live chat here, and let's see. All right, there's us. I can see me looking at my phone right now.
That's gonna be kind of creepy.
All right, you guys can bounce some questions our way. If you
want to.
Yeah,
if you don't,
if you want
we can
to.
Wrap this up and I can go use the restroom.
So let's talk about the weather.
Talk about the weather.
Yeah, it's hot. Whatever.
It's not actually. It's been a rather mild. It's been wet.
Yeah, it has been.
Good Lord, man.
It has been.
Never going to stop raining. Apparently, there was some record highs in Phoenix yesterday.
Yeah.
Like record-breaking record highs, like the hottest it's ever been.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's been nice here.
Someone said, "Where's my dad?" I don't know. I think he's eating a sandwich right now.
We break the psychic link every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like you gotta have some privacy, right? Like,
yeah. The joys of having a celebrity father.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one thing I've thought. It's like it's gotta. I mean, if you're a part of anything that's successful, you should always be thankful and lucky for it. Even if it's something like, you're in a really successful band and you just joined after they were already famous, and you don't even get to say like that you were part of it, of the creation of it. Or anything.
I know a guy that's like that. He's in a really, really, really famous band, and he joined like 2-3 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I won't say any names.
Okay, yeah,
but,
don't. But
yeah, but like, yeah, I mean, he's a cool dude, and he's a heck of a musician. Like, he's not just there.
Have to be.
Yeah. But yeah, he joined like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. But yeah, they were definitely
awesome.
an established band when he. But
but
cool
people.
guy.
Oh yeah, but people in that position though, they have to deal with.
You're not the other dude. Yeah.
Like if you're let's say, like, here's a good example. If you're like a guitarist for Ozzy and you're not, like, Zakk Wylde is famous because he was with them for so long.
Yeah.
But they've had various different guitarists. Or if you're the drummer for Ozzy, whatever. If people know that, they're going to ask you, what's Ozzy like? Which you gotta know that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But still, there's probably like, it's got to get old.
Yeah, after a while, like, what about me, man? Like, I'm on stage every night. Yeah, you're just a backing musician at this point. Yeah,
and like with the Hickok 45 thing, like, I know what I've done and what my influence has been and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't have to like try to explain it to people. Like, I don't care. It doesn't bother me when people are more interested in my dad than me. Like, I don't have my ego wrapped up in that because anyways. But sometimes it's just like, ask him. It's like occasionally I do get a little bit annoyed by that, but I understand it. I get that's part of it. My dad is the guy that's front and center, and he's in people's face, on the videos all the time, and they're going to be more interested in him. And I get that. I totally accept that, and it makes sense. And I'm glad that it's that way because it's our project together. So him being more important makes sense. But still, occasionally, I'm just like, I don't know.
Did I tell you that the other day at work, though? Like, you had sent me some pictures via text, and I was showing one of the guys I work with because he's into guns too, and he was like, "Oh, that's Hickok 45," and I was like, "Yeah, it is." He's like, "I love that dude," and I'm like, "Wow, okay, that's cool. Like, gone full circle. That's kind of cool." Yeah, like it was just, I mean, not that I just. You know what I mean? Like, not that I was surprised that I ran into somebody that knew who you were. It was just like that was just kind of caught me off guard. It was the first time it ever happened. So I was just like, wow, okay, cool, yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is.
Like earlier today, I was looking at I don't know, some Metallica like music video. Going to see them tomorrow, actually.
Oh, nice.
In Atlanta, but there was a comment that I was like reading some comments, and there was a comment that someone left, and their avatar was a picture of my dad. And it's just like. It just took me off guard.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, that's the thing. I mean, he's out there on the internet.
Yeah,
so
it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That would be kind of crazy. You're not my father.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Okay. Yeah. No one wants to ask any questions other than people are just like. Someone said, people just keep saying something about the weather. I don't know.
They trying to get some climate change? Is that what we're going for here? I'm not doing that one this time.
Okay. Oh no, that's like you said, we're not gonna do it.
Yeah, we ain't got time for that kettle of fish. At this point.
At some point, you know what though, we should do a podcast sometime and actually plan on talking about it some. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah, it would be. It would definitely be interesting because I'm a lukewarmer.
Yeah, I kind of am there too.
I mean,
Look, we're not gonna get into it.
We're not gonna get into it, but I think we will. I think we could have a good conversation about it.
We could. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you guys for hanging out.
Thank you, folks.
Thanks, Will, as always.
No problem. I always enjoy being here, sir.
I always enjoy coming here. We always have good conversations.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Sometimes mundane, sometimes interesting.
Exactly.
I think today was more of a rambling friends talking, but hey, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
But, though, like, I could so easily, if I could like, okay, here's our talking points, and
Yeah.
we're gonna keep it. I don't know. For some reason, I would much rather take the chance of having a podcast where we end up talking about.
Waiting tables and food. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's like it's just real,
yeah,
know.
exactly. No, I'm with
just,
you on it. No, I dig it. Yeah.
It's like I watched, and some people complained about it. I watched the podcast that James Hetfield, from Metallica, was on with Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm a huge Metallica fan, and it was like a birthday present come early,
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
saw he was on his podcast. Like, oh, it's amazing,
Yeah.
And like half the podcast, they talked about beekeeping.
Well, that's cool.
Because apparently, James Hetfield is really into beekeeping.
I didn't know that.
And
my fiance and I are actually about getting into.
okay,
into
and see, I'm not that interested in beekeeping, and some people were like, "You had James Hetfield on, you talked about bees for an hour or whatever."
Yeah, it's what's important to James. Like, yeah.
I thought it was awesome because it was a real conversation. It wasn't like the same old like interviews where they talking about the same old stuff I heard 1,000 times. It was like they were just talking, and it's just the stuff that came up naturally. And I thought it was neat. But.
Oh, that is neat. Like, no, Amber wants to get into it. I don't even know what it's there's some sort of term for it. Having it's apiary is the term.
Okay.
Is the correct term for a beehive. But Amber wants to get into it, and I want to get into it too. On a quick side note, I did find out the other day that there are more, like, apparently colony collapse disorder isn't as big a thing as it used to be.
Huh, okay.
Apparently there are now 25% more bees in America than there were before the colony collapse disorder thing came along.
I guess because people took some measures?
Well, I don't know. Like, it's either that or maybe just the problem with beekeeping is a lot of times you don't get a lot of genetic variants, and so you really have to maybe get wild bees.
Oh, okay.
And so it's possible it was some sort of blight that came through and just wiped out a lot of bee colonies at the time because there was not a lot of genetic variance. And when you don't have a lot of genetic variance, your population of whatever it is, that's one of the things they talk about our food supply right now. And I don't want to get too much back into where it's something else, but one thing they talk about our food supply right now is that it's so genetically similar that one good blight could wipe out all the corn on the planet, or one good blight could wipe out all of the carrots on the planet, or whatever, because there's not a lot of genetic diversity. And so when you don't get a lot of genetic diversity in any species, be it human, dog, that's why dogs are so resilient, because they're incredibly genetically diverse.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's why sometimes when you get into purebred dogs, you run into some issues because the genetic diversity goes away.
That's true. Yeah. Interesting.
But the more genetic diversity you have in any given population, plant, animal, human, whatever, the more resilient they are to disease and different things like that. And so that's one of the things that they're really worried about right now is one good blight could wipe out entire sections of our food chain because there's not a lot of diversity in it. And so they think that may be what happened to some of the bees, is there was some sort of blight that we couldn't detect or work with or figure out, but that all these hives were so genetically similar because they had common ancestors that it wiped out large portions of the population. And now that those have died off, it would make sense that the ones that were immune to the blight have come back and started repopulating.
So that would be a lot stronger. Yeah.
Yeah, like we were talking about earlier with the genetic bottleneck with humans.
Wow, that was a great callback.
Yeah, it was. That just
yeah. We got to end it there.
That was perfect.
Yeah,
that was perfect.
Well, anyways, thanks for coming on.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me. I always enjoy being here.
All right, we'll see you guys
Thanks for
later.
that with us, folks.
All right. Except we're still live right now.
Yeah, exactly. That weird moment where you're like, I always liken it to like saying goodbye to the person on campus, and then you both realize you're going to the next building.
Yeah,
for your
exactly.
Class.
Yeah.
It's like a different class, but you're going to the exact same building. You have to walk beside them for like 5 minutes silent because you've already said goodbye. Yeah. Like, I can't talk again because I've already ended the conversation.
Because sometimes you keep talking, and then you never feel like you really have to say bye again.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Just do. Have a good one.